Welcome, everybody, to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today. And this week sees the release of the horror fantasy The Mortuary Collection, hitting store shelves along with the drama thriller Crisis. And Warner Archive Collection is releasing a Blu-ray edition of the 1981 dramatic sports biopic Chariots of Fire, plus much more. So let's go see the deals, exclusives, and we are at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got. All right, we are in at Walmart, and you can kind of take a wild guess on this one, can't you guys? Yeah, pretty much you can, man. There ain't much this week whatsoever. I mean, they still are hanging on to just a little bit of Wonder Woman 84 goodness with a couple of DVDs, some of the double feature stuff, but pretty much they sold out of the Wonder Woman stuff, man. Wow. And they definitely have not restocked yet. So I have Soul and News of the World, all that stuff from previous weeks. Yeah, boy. They do have, though, they have the Penthouse, that indie horror flick that I showed you guys last week. They do have this in this week, $12.96. Still have Skyfire, which, by the way, great little natural disaster flick, man. Pretty cool, actually. Of course, we got The Toe, man, and Castlevania, and, from last week, Willy's Wonderland. Yes, the Blu-ray and the DVD. Well, a week late, but at least they got them. I mean, better late than never, I suppose. But I was talking about this movie last week, and I heaped a lot of praise on it. I really do enjoy this movie quite a bit, and I know some people weren't the biggest fans, and some people were. I guess it depends on your mindset going into the movie, what you're looking for as a movie lover, what stuff you enjoy. This is the type of movie that I really enjoy, to be honest with you. But I heard a lot of shit and a lot of hate towards Nicolas Cage. I heard a lot of crap towards Nick Cage. A lot of people said Nick Cage is washed up and that he's absolutely terrible now and that he's not really that good of an actor and nobody likes to watch him anymore. I saw so many people shitting on Nicolas Cage on certain reviews of Willy's Wonderland, or people just talking about the movie in general. And don't sleep on Nicolas Cage. I talked about it last week, and it really is true, man, that Nick Cage is an actor that constantly reinvents himself and constantly, changes up what he does and how he does it. And regardless of what you think, he's always entertaining, man. I mean, that's one thing I always like about Nick Cage, is he's always constantly entertaining. There's a lot of actors that I can never say that about. Like, there's certain actors where I think to myself, like, this person, yeah, they do decent movies, but they're not always entertaining. Like, even in a bad Nicolas Cage movie, the man is entertaining. And at the very least, you've got to at least appreciate that about the man. I mean, yeah, he doesn't hit home runs constantly, but even the people that do hit home runs, honestly, aren't that really entertaining sometimes. The one last thing you can say about Nicolas Cage is that at least he's entertaining, man, and that is at least some sort of positivity to that. I think this is a really good movie. I like the silent loner hero, and I think Nick Cage is really having a ball playing this role, and I think it really does show. Honestly, if you've gotten off of the Nick Cage train years ago because of some of the garbage he's made, go back and rewatch some stuff. I can't say everything is brilliant, but Nick Cage, I think, is one of those actors that always has become the comeback kid in a lot of ways. You sort of write Nick Cage off, and then eventually he comes back and really impresses you with something. He's done it with me a time or two, and I know he's done it with a lot of you guys too. Definitely don't sleep on Nick Cage, man. But pretty solid movie, dare I say, man. Finally, at least Walmart has it this time. Week late, but better late than never, you know what I'm saying? But there certainly is no new stuff here this week. But then again, it's kind of a little bit of a dead zone as far as the store stuff is concerned. Not really all that surprised, but hey, maybe we might find a little bit more goodness worth checking out. And over on the franchise side, actually, they refilled with some different media worth checking out, I figure. Why not? What else are we going to do at Walmart? So, hey, why not dive in, right? I mean, they got that Pitch Perfect trilogy, a Don Knotts 5 movie collection. Mask with Cher. Such a really, really great movie, man. Talk about a movie that really deserves a great special edition, man. That movie does. And so does Fried Green Tomatoes, man. My mother back in the day loved this movie. She probably still does, actually. She probably hasn't seen it in so long, man. Kathy Bates, Jessica Tandy. Jessica Tandy, man. I mean, this and Driving Miss Daisy. She's such good. And also, I believe she was also in Cocoon, if I'm not mistaken. I almost think she was, yeah. Great, great actress. And really great, great, solid. I'd say it's a chick flick, sure. But it's so good, though. God, Fried Green Tomatoes is really great, man. Love that movie. Really solid. Then you got that Doris Day movie collection. Oh, and then you've got a little John Hughes love, huh? Look at that. The Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, and Weird Science. Woo! Oh, Weird Science. My God, man. Love, love, love John Hughes, man. Now, I own all 3 of these. In fact, all 3 of them have gotten really great editions. Breakfast Club has a great edition from Criterion. 16 Candles and Weird Science have great editions from Arrow Video. I did pick all of those up, guys, because, I'm a John Hughes lover, so, I kind of gotta do it, man. But I love all these movies. I don't know if I could pick my favorite out of the 3, because I love them so much. But I guess sort of the most influential one, at least for a generation, was probably The Breakfast Club, dare I say. I mean, that was like the big one. But for me, I think the one I had the most fun with was definitely Weird Science. I just love sort of the sci-fi comedy aspect to it, this really hot chick that they create. And like, I'm not gonna lie, like we used to have, my mother had this old like chunky computer back in the day, like one of those old school ones, and I so tried to make myself a hot chick. I was like, God, can I make Kelly LeBron? And I so failed, but it was worth the experiment. What can I tell you, man? But John Hughes is so great, man. If you've never dived into any John Hughes, what are you waiting for, dude? John Hughes is so good, man. God, so good, dude. They got Wonder Woman, 84. More of the complete series of The Nanny, man. Man, Best Buy and Walmart. I showed this off like last week. And now here at Walmart, too. $40 for Fran Drescher. Goodness. Steel Magnolias as well. Another really solid, great. Well, yes, another chick flick, I suppose. But so amazing of a movie. I love Steel Magnolias, man. And this was one of the movies that my mother and father taped on VHS, man, and I watched it. It really shaped me, man. I love movies like this, man. The comedy is great. The characters are hilarious and funny and endearing and charming and so much more. And what great young actors at the time, man. Dylan McDermott, Julia Roberts, Tom Skerritt, Dolly Parton, Olympia Dukakis, Sally Fields. God damn, man. I mean, this thing is packed. Daryl Hannah. Jeez, this is such a great movie, man. What a great old school romantic comedy movie. Everybody should watch this, man. This is such a great one, man. They're so awesome. God, Steel Magnolias is fantastic, dude. Love that movie. They also have a Rock Hudson Vintage Art Series comedy collection. I don't think we saw this last week. I like that art. Very nice. Let's see. Has anybody seen My Gal? Come September, Man's Favorite Sport, Strange Bedfellows, A Very Special Favor, and Blindfold. Nice. Got Rock Hudson, another iconic movie star, dare I say. Man, Rock Hudson. It's very interesting because most people now remember Rock Hudson for what happened to him with the AIDS stuff back in the day and how it was so early on in that people were basically like shunning him, and there was a few old school leading ladies that he worked with that were really supportive of him, and I was so happy to have seen that. And he's such an iconic old school movie star, man. Some of these ones I've seen and some of them I haven't, but there's no denying what a great on-screen presence he was. And if you ever want to dive into old school iconic actors, he definitely is one of them you gotta dive into, man. Rock Hudson was solid, man. Absolutely solid. Great, man. Great to see that set here. You also got a fearless female four-movie collection. Harriet, Elizabeth, Mary, Queen of Scots, and On the Basis of Sex. All solid movies. I guess my favorite of these would probably have to be Elizabeth, because I really like that film. I've seen all of them. My least favorite would probably be Mary, Queen of Scots. But I love all of them, though. Not bad set on that one. They also have another one featuring Elizabeth. Jane Eyre, Pride and Prejudice, and Atonement. All good movies. Again, got to pick Elizabeth in that group, man. Look at features one. They got that. They got... Overboard. Oh, boy. Overboard. Goodness gracious, man. I gotta be honest with this one, guys. Well, I remember talking about it when it came out on physical media for that week of the Out and Bar. I did not care for this one. I don't know if I'll ever really revisit it, because I love that old school Overboard movie so much with Kurt Russell, dude. There's something about that. Goldie Hawn. I mean, that I just love the comedy of it and the connection that they had and the chemistry. It works so well. Here, the chemistry is off. The comedy's too goofy. I definitely don't believe Anna Faris. I don't know. Some people like this movie. I wasn't too big on it. I gotta be honest. Wasn't too big on that one. Then they have the Blu-ray DVD digital of Dirty Dancing. Yes. Now, this is actually getting a 4K release not too long from now, honestly. Such a great movie, man. Such a really fantastic film. Patrick Swayze, Jennifer Grey. My God, man, the chemistry was off the charts. Again, old school one back in the day on VHS. Love it. Classic, baby. And my man, Swayze. Oh, iconic, dude. What am I talking about? Iconic. Then you got Sweet Home Alabama. And okay, Reese. Longest Ride. And okay. Grease. It's the word, baby. Oh, so good, man. I love Grease, man. Grease is so great. Another one of those ones that I saw on VHS back in the day, dude. Love it, man. The chemistry, the songs, the vibrant colors, the story, everything really connected with me with this movie, man. I love this movie so much. But the real question is, when are we getting a anniversary edition of Grease 2? When are we getting a one for Grease 2? Can anybody tell me? Because, come on, man. I mean, I love Grease. But Grease 2 deserves some love, man. Am I wrong? Grease 2 deserves some major love. Damn it, man. I'm still waiting on that Grease 2 love, but hey, at least Grease got the love. You know what I'm saying? Then we got Titanic. Of course, Titanic is amazing. I love the movie, the special effects, the love story stuff. Really cool. You definitely can't beat that. And like I said, I actually knew people back in the day when this thing was in movie theaters who watched this movie solely to watch Leonardo DiCaprio die, right? And this was back in the day when Leonardo DiCaprio was on like the cover of Teen Beat and all that shit, right? And they hated him. And I kept saying to people, like, you realize that you gotta wait 3 hours in order to see Leonardo DiCaprio die. They're like, cool, we're fine with it. I'm like, okay. Which is so weird. I mean, literally, this movie made money just from people wanting to see Leonardo DiCaprio die. That's crazy, man. I think it's a really good film. It got a lot of shit on it when it first came out, and years went by where there was a lot of shit with the movie. But I think most people, now that it's all settled down and the hype settled down and everything, I think people realize how great of a movie it is. I mean, it was always a great movie, but, you know, anything that's majorly popular, people tend to push back on. But this one, I think this is, to this day, and forever will be, like, the best Titanic movie ever. Just saying. Medea's big happy family. Oh, Lord. Medea. Oh, goddamn Medea. You know, I have really only ever watched maybe 1 or 2 Medea films. I know it's kind of crazy considering how much Medea material Tyler Perry has out there. I've only watched 1 or 2 of it. I was never really big into Medea. I never did. And honestly, he's retired the character, I know that. But something tells me, like, he's gonna come back with another Medea movie at some point. I mean, dude, that character practically prints money, for Christ's sake, man. I mean, come on, dude. He's gonna bring it back at some point. I guarantee you he's gonna do it, man. Just a matter of time. He's gonna do it. The Big Wedding. I might have heard of this one, but I don't know entirely. De Niro, Heigl, Keaton, Seyfried, Grace, Barnes, Sarandon, Williams. Ooh. What a damn cast that is. Yo, Amanda Seyfried. Romantic comedy, man. There's a lot of these modern romantic comedies that I really don't like. Some I really do, but a lot of them not a fan of. I like more of the old school stuff, but with a cast like that definitely intrigues me, man. It's got to be good with a cast like that. I mean, seriously? How would you assemble this many actors and it wouldn't be good? Maybe. I don't know. Then they got Remedies Collection Volume 1. It's a movie collection. Aloha, Easy A, Friends with Benefits, The Awkward Moment, Just Go With It, and Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. Nice. Man, I gotta admit, out of these, my favorite is definitely Easy A. I love Easy A. I think Easy A is great. Way, way great, man. Really, really awesome, man. Easy A is amazing. Friends with Benefits is decent. It's not bad. It's pretty much okay. That Awkward Moment, it's okay. Just Go With It. I really don't like Just Go With It, man. Damn. I know some people like a lot of that Adam Sandler, later Adam Sandler stuff. I don't know, man. I mean, I just thought it was kind of too goofy for its own good and kind of stupid. Like, I like Sandler when he works with Drew Barrymore, but I didn't really like this one very much. Aloha, I think it's one of the weaker films in this set. Honestly, the one that's a really great dark horse is Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. That is a really, really great movie, man. And it's one that I think is really underrated. Not many people really talk about that one, but I really like the chemistry between the two. I like the music. It's actually a pretty solid movie, man, for the most part. I mean, I think Easy A is better, but I think Nick and Nora's Playlist is definitely something that people kind of sleep on a bit. Definitely needs to be experienced. That's for damn sure. Not a bad one. There's with any sort of collection set, some are better than others. I would say 1, 2, 3 are really good. 1 is okay. Not so good. Just saying, man. Of course, we have some Hallmark goodness. Remember Sunday Makeover and Away and Back. Okay. I mean, I'm not a big Hallmark guy, but I do recognize that it's a big thing for people, and people buy a lot of this Hallmark stuff. I mean, honestly, they do get some pretty good actors. I mean, you got Jason Lee, Julia Stiles, Zachary Levi. I mean, you have some pretty decent people overall, man. Just not much of a Hallmark guy. I think they're just too schmaltzy for my own good. I don't know. They just kind of are. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's a little bit schmaltzy. But people love it, so why not make more of it? You know what I'm saying? Why not, man? Then they also have Miss Congeniality and Miss Congeniality 2, Armed and Fabulous. Oh, man. I gotta admit, I really like the first Miss Congeniality, man. There's something about that movie that I really like. It's really funny. I like Sandra Bullock in it. It's kind of making fun of the whole pageantry stuff, which I like. I think it's a pretty funny action comedy, man. I really do. Now, Miss Congeniality 2, I think it's a case of one of those sequels, man, which unfortunately is kind of a letdown. A lot of comedy sequels are. If you've really noticed, a lot of comedy sequels aren't always as good as the first one. Now, there's some that do buck the trend, like Beverly Hills Cop 2. I think that bucks the trend. And there's a couple other ones, but I mean, even look like something like Caddyshack 2 and a few other ones. They're like, not as good. Miss Congeniality 2 is one of those. I think the first one's great, but second one, not so much. Not so much, man. Oh, and actually, Remedies Collection Volume 2. Volume 1, and Volume 2. Nice. So what does Volume 2 have? The Ugly Truth, The Bounty Hunter, Bad Teacher, Plan for Keeps, The Backup Plan, and the Sex Tape. I gotta admit, not a great selection for Volume 2, man. I mean, it's not terrible. I mean, I kind of like Bad Teacher. Kind of. There's moments in it that I like. There's moments that I really do like Sex Tape. I think Sex Tape is probably the best out of all of these. The Backup Plan, J-Lo and her terrible romantic comedies, man. Plan for Keeps. The Bounty Hunter is really terrible. Jennifer Aniston and Gerard Butler should be ashamed of themselves. Actually, I'm sorry. Gerard Butler should be ashamed of The Ugly Truth, because that's a really terrible one. And Katherine Heigl, man, she comes off as a flat-out bitch, man. Am I wrong, dude? I mean, she really does, man. I mean, maybe 2 out of these are decent, but the rest, yeesh. I'd rather go with Volume 1 than Volume 2. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Oh, of course, they got La La Land, which is amazing. I love La La Land so much. The music, the chemistry, the love story, everything is so awesome here. Great, great film, man. And so is An Officer and a Gentleman. Oh, my God. So great. Oh, my God. This is a great, fantastic movie. This is another one, man. The VHS days. My mother and father taped it, man. Such a really great one, dude. Richard Gere, Deborah Winger, the chemistry off the charts. I love the soundtrack in this. I love the love story. The ending where he picks her up and takes her out of the factory. So great, man. So good. And Deborah Winger back in the day, man. Damn. The old school Deborah Winger days. I miss them. Like this movie and Urban Cowboy, Terms of Endearment. She was so good. Man. I miss those old school Deborah Winger days. So good, man. And what a great movie, dude. Awesome flick. And then they have Hot and Spicy. What the fuck? A DVD of a double shot of Romeo and Juliet and Moulin Rouge. Very nice. I actually like both of these movies. Both these movies are actually quite good, man. But why Hot and Spicy? Like, there's other movies that I would consider hot and spicy. I don't know about Moulin Rouge and Romeo and Juliet exactly, but okay. My favorite out of these two is Moulin Rouge. I love the music, the dance numbers, the love story is really great, the colors, and Baz Luhrmann, man, he directed the shit out of that. So good, dude. Took sort of modern songs and reworked them into musical style stuff, and boy did it work. And I do like Romeo and Juliet as well. I think Leonardo DiCaprio is great here, man. Really great. I think the love story is great. They tried to play it into a very sort of modern day twist to it, but yet still keeping the same sort of like dialogue. It was very unique and interesting, and I think it worked for the most part, man. I like both of these movies. Not sure about the hot and spicy part, but 2 solid movies though. Not the last song, which is a decent one, Ever After, which I know I've talked about, and that is a really fantastic movie, man. A really great sort of idea behind sort of the Cinderella story, and one of the best sort of modern day takes on it. Love Drew Barrymore here. Angelica Houston is awesome. Oh my God, so fantastic of a movie. Well worth your time on that one. And then they have a ladies' night. Of course they have a ladies' night with Book Club, Soap Dish, and The First Wives Club. Now that is a great trio of films, man. I love all 3 of these movies, not gonna lie, man. Book Club is great. I saw that in the movie theater with my mother. That was so good, man. That was so great. We had a ball with that one. First Wives Club is also really fantastic. I love that movie as well, man. Bette Midler, Goldie Hawn, Diane Keaton, what a great trio. And I love these sort of women taking revenge on the men that wronged them. I just love the comedy of it, and the chemistry that those ladies had was on fire. So great. And Soap Dish, oh my God. Speak about a movie I haven't seen in so friggin' long. My God, I remember that one back from the VHS days. Shit. Oh man, Downey and Sally Field and oh my God, Kevin Kline, Whoopi. Oh, damn. Oh, so good. About they're sort of filming this soap opera show, and all sort of the sort of backroom hijinks So great of a movie, dude. I love this film. It's really hilarious. God, if you've never seen Soap Dish, definitely give it a look, man. It's sort of like early 90s humor, late 80s, early 90s humor, but so good, man. And it's just sort of wacky hijinks. I really love that one, man. Talk about a really underrated movie. I mean, all three are great, but the underrated one out of this is definitely Soap Dish. God, so good, man. Definitely got to give this one a look. That's so great. Then you also got the 3-film collection of The Intern, Blended, and Tammy. The Intern's decent. I do like The Intern. Tammy, I'm sorry. I know some people like Tammy, and I don't want to really overly shit on it, but I really don't like the movie. I kind of think it's not Melissa McCarthy's best film. It's kind of one of her worst, dare I say. It's kind of really shitty. But I actually kind of like Blended. All things considered, I actually really do. I like the chemistry between Sandler and Barrymore. I think that the chemistry is great. I mean, it's not as good as like The Wedding Singer, but I still like Sandler and Barrymore working together. There's something about it that I like. I've always liked their chemistry. I really do. I think they have great chemistry, and I like the comedy. A little goofy for its own good, but I kind of enjoy it. I don't know. It's pretty decent overall. Then they've got Letters to Julia, not bad one. They've also got the double feature of You've Got Mail and Must Love Dogs. Two good movies. I really do like both of these movies, but if I had to say my favorite out of these two, would definitely be You've Got Mail. I really like You've Got Mail quite a bit, man. Again, the VHS days, I'm telling you, man. Like the later VHS days, towards the beginning of the DVD days, dare I say. But this is great. This is like the early romantic internet movie. It's one of the first movies to ever really do that, if not the first almost. It's so great. Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, man, their chemistry has always been amazing. Whether it's Joe versus the Volcano or Sleepless in Seattle, they've always had great chemistry together. And this is, I think, one of their best romantic comedies they ever did. I think both of them are extremely charming. I think they're funny. It's a witty film. One of the best, man, especially from the 90s, especially the late 90s, man. So good. That one is solid. One of my favorites. And Must Love Dogs is pretty decent, too. I really love sort of the loving of the dogs and finding each other through that love. I really do appreciate that, man. And John Cusack, I always am a fan of John Cusack, man. I mean, even when he's in a bad movie, it's still John Cusack, dude. I love him. So good. But my favorite definitely is You've Got Mail. Yeah, no. Then we got a 2-film collection for Crazy Stupid Love and Horrible Bosses. Nice. Very nice. 2 movies that I really do like. However, if I had to pick between one or the other, I would have to go with Crazy Stupid Love. I know some people would definitely pick Horrible Bosses. I'm going Crazy Stupid Love. I really do enjoy that movie quite a bit, man. I think Steve Carell's funny in here. I like the chemistry between him and Ryan Gosling. And I like the comedy of this guy who's trying to get back out into the dating world and the complications of that, and sort of his mentor being Ryan Gosling, which, you know, the guy is smooth and suave, so it kind of makes sense. But so great, man. And even Ryan Gosling's chemistry with Emma Stone is fantastic, man. I mean, of course, they ended up having more chemistry in La La Land, but come on, I mean, Crazy Stupid Love was really great. And Horrible Bosses is great too, man. I mean, at least the first one. The first one, I think, is pretty fun, funny. Second one, not so much. But that first one is still pretty good, man. Then they've got We're the Millers and Vacation. We're the Millers is so much better than Vacation is, man. It tried to be another one of those National Lampoon movies. Tried to be as good as the Chevy Chase stuff. So fell fast and so hard on his face, man. But We're the Millers is really funny, man. I do like Aniston here, and I like the crew. I think it's funny. I really do, man. It's not bad. Pretty funny overall. Not a bad one. Then they have the vintage art series of Imitation of Life. Another one we didn't see last week. I like that art. Nice. Witch Chronicles. I don't think I've ever seen this one. I don't believe I did. Oh, Sandra Dee is in this. Wow. Huh. Looks pretty good, honestly. Another vintage art series one. Not half bad, man. Then we got Harvey, which we showed off last week. The Devil Wears Prada. Of course, great movie, man. And Meryl is so awesome in that movie. Come on, you gotta love it. I mean, you know, Meryl's awesome. What are you talking about? It was great. Then we also got a double feature of Romancing the Stone and Jewel of the Nile. Nice. Really nice, interesting double feature, man. I love Romancing the Stone, man. Romancing the Stone is awesome. So good, dude. Man. Kathleen Turner when like Kathleen Turner was like hot as hell, man. Michael Douglas, Danny DeVito as well. So good, man. And directed by Robert Zemeckis. A lot of people don't really remember that. When they think of Robert Zemeckis, they think of Forrest Gump or the Back to the Future trilogy, a whole host of other stuff, but not always Romancing the Stone. So good. Then Jewel of the Nile, the sequel, not as good. It's another one of those sort of adventure comedy romance movies sequels that don't really work. I mean, it's almost like they went back to the well one more time and tried to replicate the chemistry and the magic from the first film and just didn't quite work. It's not terrible of a sequel, but not as good as the first one. Yeah, that first one had everything going for it. The second one tried to replicate it. Didn't quite work, man. Not in my opinion. Then they've got The Age of Adeline, which is okay. Silver Linings Playbook, which is really fantastic, man. I really do like this. I saw this in the movie theater with Bob. We really enjoyed this one, man. I mean, Jennifer Lawrence is great. Bradley Cooper, the chemistry between them. I love the drama and the romance and the comedy that comes from that, where these two unlikely people coming together, yet they have more in common than they really know. So fantastic of a movie, man. Really, really great stuff. Of course, First Wives Club, fantastic. Burlesque with Sharon and Christina Aguilera. I don't know about you guys, but I actually do like Burlesque. I really do, man. I don't know. I was walking into this movie thinking this was going to be an absolute train wreck. And that's what I was prepared to watch. And I was honestly blown away by how much I really enjoyed Burlesque. I mean, truly. It's kind of fun. The dance numbers and the singing. I liked it. I did, man. I mean, Christina Aguilera has a lot of spunk to her, Cher, even though she's like 150 years old and still has it. Still's got it. I mean, come on, man. Oh, hey, it's Burlesque. What the hell, man? I liked it. You also got Mother's Day, which is okay. Not the greatest. League of Their Own, however, fantastic movie, man. The baseball stuff, one of the best baseball movies ever, dare I say. I love the comedy here. I love the chemistry between the actors. Tom Hanks is so good. Gina Davis. Madonna's even good in this damn thing as well, man. Everybody's great. Rosie O'Donnell as well. Lori Petty. So good, man. What a great old school movie, man. That's a great one. And then last but not least, another vintage art series, Thoroughly Modern Millie in glorious Technicolor. Fantastic. Julie Andrews, Mary Tyler Moore, Carol Channing. Nice. The movie that inspired the Tony Award-winning Broadway sensation, truly. I don't know if I've ever seen this one, but it looks kind of nice. It looks kind of fun. Sort of the women having a fun, hilarious time. Mary Tyler Moore and Julie Andrews in the same movie together. How have I not known this thing existed? I gotta check this thing out, man. I love Mary Tyler Moore from the old school show. Julie Andrews, of course, was always great. I mean, Mary Poppins, anybody? Hello? Of course I love Julie Andrews, man. This looks pretty fun. Another vintage art series. Very nice, man. And some really interesting selection this time around. Look at this. Not bad for Walmart. I mean, they don't have anything new exactly, but some pretty good variety worth checking out here, I say. Not half bad. Especially for this Walmart. All right. Let's head out. This is Walmart for you guys. Yes, indeed it is. Oh, boy. Yeah, a week late on Willy's Wonderland and not much new releases to show. However, this is, as far as like in-store stuff this week, it's kind of a little bit of a barren wasteland, not gonna lie, man. But I'm just actually happy that they filled up that sort of franchise section with some cool like movie collection DVDs and some stuff basically maybe for Mother's Day coming up. You know, some cool romantic comedy stuff. Not half bad, dare I say, man. I mean, hey, old school movie love, I can't deny I love talking about that stuff, dude. I really honestly do. And they did provide at least some goodness, so gotta give them at least for that. No new school stuff, but hey, gotta love the old school. You gotta love the old school. And Walmart definitely provided it. Not half bad overall. I mean, would be nice to see one or two of the new titles, but maybe next week when it's a week late. Maybe indeed, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's head to the next location and let's see some more physical media love. All right, everybody. We are at our second location, Target. But before we go in, I gotta talk to you guys about an article that I saw. Of course I do. And that is, Netflix will be the streaming home for all future Sony releases. Just when it seemed like every major film studio was launching its own streaming service to boost their profit margins, Sony is instead giving an existing platform the keys to their future film slate. According to Variety, Sony is cutting a brand new deal with Netflix. Their partnership will grant the streaming giant first access to Sony's upcoming theatrical releases starting in 2022. Now, they go on to say some, of course, words, both of the representatives. Sony Pictures is a great partner, and we are thrilled to expand our relationship through this forward-thinking agreement. This is not only allows us to bring their impressive slate of beloved film franchises and new IP to Netflix in the U.S., but also establishes a new source of first-run films for Netflix movie lovers worldwide. Now, it goes on to basically say some more wonderful stuff about the Netflix and the Sony partnership. And it says Sony's pact with Netflix is expected to last about 5 years and only covers the U.S. Additionally, Netflix now has a first-look agreement for all films that the studio is planning to go direct to streaming. Under its terms, the platform must commit to a certain number of titles from Sony. However, it is also doesn't stop Sony from selling the movies to rival services. Netflix also will license several films from Sony's back catalog as well. Oh, yes! Making those backdoor deals, baby. Yes, indeed. So, we knew that this was happening because, let's be real, guys. I mean, if we're not seeing, movie studios creating their own streaming services, we're seeing them partnering with the coexisting ones and creating a match made in streaming heaven. Yes, we are. And why? Why exactly? I mean, the theatrical model should be alive and well, right? Not exactly. I mean, I told you guys about ArcLight Cinemas that is going out and completely closed and dead now. Regal Cinemas has been closing some of their places, as has been a lot of trouble with AMC and a lot of other chains, man. I mean, there's been troubled waters for quite a while. And yes, things are slightly starting to look up. Movie theaters are starting to open back up. These bigger movies are releasing. People are interested in going back. There is, but there is still a lot of hesitancy out there. A lot of hesitancy. And no studio right now can guarantee that every single film that they put in a movie theater is going to guarantee them a profit. They just can't do it. Yes, bigger films, sure, like Godzilla vs. Kong, Mortal Kombat, a new Spider-Man movie, you name it, a lot of those. But there's a lot of them that are not. There's not guaranteed on anything at this point. And so Sony figures, well, why not partner up and the best of both worlds, so to speak. I mean, a lot of their big name titles that are doing first runs on Netflix, a lot of them are doing the theatrical distribution first. I mean, once they're done with the theatrical distribution, then they'll go on to the Netflix platform. So it's not like a same day situation of like you can watch on Netflix the same day that it comes out in the theaters like we're doing now with something like HBO Max. That's just not the case. However, this is a step in a direction, right? It's a step in a direction where maybe that might come to pass again. I mean, I don't think the HBO Max thing that they're doing here in 2021, I don't think that's a one and done deal. Maybe they think it is, but I have a feeling that that will come around again in the future at some point. I see these studios looking at streaming a little bit more seriously than maybe they did even 2 years ago, if you really think about it, guys. And look, a lot of these smaller films, as I said in the article, they may not even go to a movie theater. They may just end up going straight to Netflix. And that's already happened with some studio films that sold rights to some of these streaming companies anyways, but now it's a guaranteed thing with Sony and the Netflix deal. And think about this. There is a lot of indie films that were surprise hits in movie theaters. I mean, you look at something like a Lost in Translation, or you look at a lot of these other movies that were surprise hits at the box office. Nobody thought it would be, but it really surprised people. Now, those movies aren't even getting a shot at the theater now. They're just going straight to Netflix. So this is a complicated deal. There's a lot of twists and turns in this thing, and I don't know who's in the right and who's in the wrong. I have literally no idea on this one, guys. I mean, on one hand, I'm happy to see that those people on streaming will get a chance to get to watch these regardless if they don't want to go to the movie theaters. On the other hand, you really are undercutting things by basically saying to them, yeah, you just need to wait basically 4 or 5 weeks, maybe a little bit more, and you're going to get on Netflix. So why go to the movie theater? There's a back and forth to it. And who knows what's right or what's wrong. I think movie studios right now are just really hesitant. They're really hesitant because the movie theater model right now is very shaky at this point, and it's not guaranteed like it once was. And streaming has become, in some ways, a guarantee. Has it been a foolproof guarantee? No, but it has also been a guarantee where studios can finally put stuff out that they've just been backlogging for a long time. I don't know, guys. At the end of the day, I think this benefits some people, but does the benefits outweigh the negative? I'm kind of curious as to what you guys think about this. I mean, things are changing at a rapid pace, man. I mean, truly, they are changing at a momentous, like full-on stream pace. And blink and you'll miss it, because the theatrical model, maybe even within 5 years, could be a completely forgotten thing. I mean, the way these companies are doing deals now and the way other studios are making streaming services themselves, I mean, this pandemic has really reshaped the whole entertainment industry, and that is continuing to be shaped as we know it. I mean, this deal pretty much proves it, guys. I mean, definitely let me know what you think about that. What are your thoughts? I'm dying to know, man. In the meantime, well, it's kind of a rough week for physical media. It's pretty bad. So I don't know what we're gonna see in Target. Probably nothing. I'm just gonna forewarn you. It might be nothing. But I guess the only way we're gonna find out is the head inside. So let's go in and check it out. All right, everybody. We are in at Target, and yeah, it's a dead zone this week. I pretty much could have guaranteed it here, man. I almost instantly I knew this was going to be a dead zone this week, man. I mean, they do have a crap ton of Wonder Woman 84 love still. I mean, wow, man, like a ton of it. Look at this. Wow. Holy shit. Damn, a ton of 84 love. Man, they can't even give this shit away. Holy crap, man. Yo. There's a ton of 84 love here. Damn, dude. And they still got a lot of love for Soul. I mean, Soul is so much better of a movie than 84. You'd think this would sell, but no, this is sitting here a little bit too. That's a damn shame, man. Of course, boy. They have Carbon Star, Hell in the Cloud. Actually, the weird thing about this, guys, is Willy's Wonderland that I showed here last week. The $30 Blu-ray is all sold out. They had a few copies and they all sold at $30, man. That's insane. I mean, I literally bought mine for like 14, 15 bucks and change. Like 30 bucks for Willy's Wonderland. I mean, I like the movie, but shit, $30. I'm glad they sold it though, but ooh, man, man, damn. Other than that, a lot of the same old stuff, man. But I kind of predicted this was gonna happen. I mean, truly, with such a slow release week and most of it not really high profile, this is what you were gonna get, guys. I mean, there's nothing new on this side. Yeah, all the same old stuff on this side, and the other side is, yeah, sort of anime goodness and stuff. Yeah, nothing really new exactly. Well, it's a shame, but uh, pretty much knew what was gonna happen. All right, guess that does it for Target. Well, I hate to admit it, guys. I happen to be right on this one. I know, I didn't want to be right. I wanted them to have some new releases this week, but as I've said before, when there's a big, huge release week, we're gonna see something over at Target. It's just an absolute guarantee. When there's a really slow release week and really not much to show off, then pretty much we're gonna get nada, zip, zilch, zippo, nothing at all, man. And yeah, this week, definitely nothing, man. That's for damn sure. But would have been nice to see something, but then again, we're talking Target, and that was definitely not going to be the case. I hate to admit it, but it is the truth, guys. However, they do have a very interesting, looks like a Mother's Day display. Wonder what might be on there. So, what is with this end cap? I'm very curious, man. Read alongs with mom, $20 and under. I think it's supposed to say something else, but technically, it's, hey, movies for mom under $20. Wow, great. What do we got? We got Sonic Boom Season 1, Volume 2. Wait a minute, what? Uh, is this something people watch with their mothers? I don't know. Then they have Aladdin, which, okay, I guess I could see, you watching it with your mom. I could see that. Shazam, maybe. I can see that. The Legend of Korra, the complete series. Wait a minute. Maybe unless your mother is hardcore into anime, perhaps. Oh, well, they do have Will Smith Gemini Man. I mean, this is definitely something you're watching with your mother, right? I mean, you wouldn't be watching any other Will Smith movie that's better than Gemini Man. I can't think of a single one. I mean, not Men in Black or Independence Day or Bad Boys. Yeah, I can't think of any. Okay, they have that. They have Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I guess I could see somebody watching this with their mom. I mean, it's a funny movie. Matthew Broderick's great. Good comedy. Perhaps see that. Well, Dirty Dancing, I can definitely see somebody watching with their mother. That is a staple of moms everywhere, especially my mom. She loves Dirty Dancing so much, man. Dirty Dancing is like one of her favorites of all time, man. I mean, the music. Of course, she loves Patrick Swayze, of course. It's just a great one. Yeah, this is definitely a mom one, for sure, man. Then you have Mean Girls, and I'm not sure whether this is a mother one or not. I mean, I know it's a popular movie. Is it one with moms? Maybe. Maybe it is. It's a decent movie enough. Clueless is another one. I mean, Clueless is way better than Mean Girls, that's for sure. But is Clueless a mom movie? I guess I could see it as a mom. But I mean, with the fashion and the comedy, perhaps I'll cut it some slack. A little bit of slack. I mean, again, better than Mean Girls. In fact, Mean Girls owes a lot to Clueless. Just saying. Then we've also got Titanic. Definitely moms. Definitely. This is one the moms watch. That's for damn sure. Titanic is. Then, well, this is a no brainer. Greatest Showman is definitely one that mothers would watch, man. I mean, the music, Hugh Jackman, the dancing, totally something moms would watch. So totally. Then the Pitch Perfect trilogy. I'm gonna be honest, not the biggest fan of Pitch Perfect trilogy. Pitch Perfect first one great, second and third one Not so much, but I can definitely see mothers watching the Pitch Perfect trilogy, so I could see it. Ghostbusters 1 and 2, though. Is this a mom thing? I wouldn't really consider these movies a mom double feature movie. I just can't really see it. I mean, not saying they wouldn't, but is this sort of ripe for Mother's Day watching? Not so sure about that one, guys. They've also got Downtown Abbey, which of course is definitely something I think moms would definitely watch. Then Mean Girls, Clueless, and She's the Man. Girls rule. She's the Man, really? that, that's that's definitely one that's high on the mother's radar. Is She's the Man, because people definitely want to watch Amanda Bynes. Mothers in like their 50s totally want to watch that, right? Amanda Bynes, Bueller. No way, man. Then you've got E.T., and I guess E.T. would definitely be a mom thing to watch. It definitely is a classic. People would definitely want to watch that. I'll give them a little bit of slack on that one. But what in the hell is this? Is this Tom Cruise collection for moms? What mother is watching this? I mean, in such rando Tom Cruise titles, I mean, Top Gun, MI3, and Ghost Protocol. I mean, Top Gun's classic. I could definitely see moms watching that, but it's not really even a mom movie. It's more of a guy movie, if anything. But such rando Mission Impossible ones, MI3 and Ghost Protocol. I mean, not saying they're bad Mission Impossible movies. They're good. I like them, but like I can really see somebody sitting down and on Mother's Day watching their three movie Tom Cruise collections set. What the fuck? Like, there's so much better ones to watch, especially for like mothers. Like, I'm thinking like Tom Cruise, like Jerry Maguire. Like Jerry Maguire, I'm thinking that's like a Mother's Day movie. Jerry Maguire is Ghost Protocol. Like, who's watching that? Unless you're a huge Tom Cruise fan and your mother like eats up everything Tom Cruise, maybe. But what the hell? What the fuck? What's such rando titles, man? Then we've got that 4 movie collection set which we saw over at Walmart, which is definitely a mother thing, I would say. Then we have this inspirational 4 movie collection. Now, I gotta admit, I'm looking at this set, and this doesn't really seem like a mother collection to me. This seems more like a Father's Day collection set, right? I mean, Field of Dreams is definitely more of a father's movie. Seabiscuit is. Friday Night Lights definitely is. Cinderella Man, I guess you could say it's a mother's movie as well, but it's definitely a guy film too in a lot of ways. This is more of a collection set for a guy more than anything else, right? I mean, really, not a guy thing. Not really a Mother's Day collection set, just saying. Then they've also got, oh geez, speaking of something that's definitely not, especially for any mother I know, is Mark Wahlberg 5 film collection set. I mean, it's only $9.99, so 5 films for $9.99 is a good deal. But do you really consider this a Mother's Day thing? Mark Wahlberg. I mean, Mark Wahlberg has done movies with that I could say are definitely ones that mothers would like. But when I think of Mother's Day, I don't necessarily think of Mark Wahlberg. Do you? Pain and Gain, The Fighter, Shooter, The Gambler, and The Italian Job. Oh, man. Oh, God. Mark Wahlberg, man. You know, I gotta admit, like, when I'm looking at these titles, like, The Fighter is definitely not a mom type of movie. Shooter definitely isn't. The Gambler, maybe moments, but definitely not a mother's movie. The Italian Job, I could see moms kind of liking, but Pain and Gain? The Rock literally roasts body parts on a grill. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this is so not a mother movie. Oh my god, man. I mean, not to say that mothers don't like Mark Wahlberg. I mean, the guy's hunky. they like the way he looks. Okay, fine. He's kind of a ladies' dude to a certain degree, but I mean, who's watching Mark Wahlberg movies on Mother's Day? Maybe somebody is, but no mom that I know. Just saying. Especially those movies. I mean, there's a lot of great Mark Wahlberg movies that are for chicks, but I don't know if that's those movies though. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Oh Jesus! You got another thing. The Rambo 4 film collection set. Okay, sure. Why? Why the fuck? I mean, if Mark Wahlberg, why not Rambo? Oh man, what mother? What mother is watching Rambo? What mother? Oh man, unless like she's extremely butch and she was in like the army or some shit. This is the only way, man. I mean, what mother is literally on Mother's Day saying, you know what, honey? Let's watch those cute old Rambo movies. I just love Sylvester Stallone. I love him. I love him and stop him. My mom will shoot. I do. I really do. And I heard he's got long hair in there. Beautiful long hair. And heard he's got all those muscles. Oh, he's also good with those muscles. Mom, mom, he kills people like really brutally in these movies. Like, heads coming off, body parts flying all over the place. I mean, bullets riddled in people's bodies. He's, it's pretty bad. Oh, well, those muscles. Hey, I heard he's so good with those muscles and the hair. Oh, the hair, yeah. He's definitely using conditioner. Like, Ma, no, you're gonna regret it, Ma. Oh no. Oh no. Oh God. If if your mother goes through a whole 4 or 5 film collection of Rambo on Mother's Day, you gotta let me know. And God bless your mother's heart. I can't see it. I so can't see it. Like your mother eating a bloody red steak for dinner on Mother's Day, and then watching Rambo just bleed pee people out of every part of their body. My God. Oh man. I just don't see it. I don't see it. Oh Lord. Then you have the Will Ferrell 3 movie collection with Step Brothers, the other guys, and Talladega Nights. I guess this could be a mother thing, right? Because, moms do like a good comedy. Then again, I'm not really a fan of Will Ferrell, so not saying that these are really even good comedies. I know you guys out there really love Will Ferrell, and I'm like shitting all over him, but I don't really think these are like really good like mothers movies. I mean, the other guys really isn't all that funny, other than maybe the beginning stuff. Talladega Nights, yeah, I suppose it's kind of funny. People kind of like that. And Step Brothers people do find hilarious. Okay, maybe it's a mom thing. It's really not a me thing because I'm not a Will Ferrell guy, but I recognize that he can be funny to people, so this is probably a good one, all things considered. I mean, for $7.50, 3 movie Will Ferrell collection, goodness, sure, why the hell not? And then you got the Eddie Murphy 4 film collection set. Okay, Eddie. Now look, Eddie Murphy funnier than Will Ferrell. Okay, so this could be a good one. Coming to America, great movie. Could be a good one to watch with mom. Harlem Nights, great movie. Not sure if I'd say this is a mom movie, but it is a really great Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor film. Boomerang, pretty good one, and perhaps a good one for moms too, especially if they're into Eddie. 3 solid Eddie Murphy films. And then you have Norbit. Oh no. Why would anybody ever subject their mother to Norbit? Oh no. I'm not gonna lie. I would never, and I mean this, never subject my mother to Norbit. Never. I love my mother too much. I care for my mother too much. I care for her health and well-being too much to have her experience Norbit. Oh my God, I think my mother would literally disown me if she ended up having me show her Norbit. Like, I literally, afterwards, she would literally, like, lock the door in my face and never acknowledge that I was ever her son. What child is showing their mother Norbit? No, no, watch The Nutty Professor. Watch so many other great Eddie Murphy movies, Bowfinger, and oh my God, Beverly Hills Cop. Something. The fuck you watching Norbit for? Please, please, I'm begging you guys for Mother's Day. Don't. Seriously, don't show your mother Norbit. Please, I'm begging you guys. If you love your mother, if you have any ounce and shred of love in your heart for your mom, you will spare her. You will spare her the tragedy and the train wreck that is Norbit. Oh, God. Moms everywhere are gonna totally abandon their kids. Don't do it. Don't do it. I wouldn't show this to my worst fucking enemy. I wouldn't do Norbit to my worst enemy. Definitely not my mother. I love you, Ma. I will not make you experience Norbit. I won't. You can't make me, Eddie. You can't make me. Don't ever watch Norbit. Don't. I'm just saying. Oh my God, guys. What in the world is this end cap? Some of it makes sense, but other parts of it is like so weird and bizarre. This is the Mother's Day recommendations we get from Target? Whoa. Oh my God. That is what they consider a Mother's Day end cap for movies for mom? Seriously? Oh my God, man. God. Well, I gotta admit, that was quite the hilarious romp down terrible Mother's Day lane. Oh, Lord. Oh, if I wanted a good laugh, well, I definitely got it, guys. That's for damn sure. Oh my God, man. Truth be told, maybe some of those movies are basically for mom, and they are. And other ones, I'm just like, if you're having a nice Mother's Day movie marathon with your mom, I mean, seriously, are you picking some of those ones? I don't know if I'm picking like that for the Mother's Day for my mom. I don't know, something about those titles, yeah, you know what? Mother's Day, totally Rambo. Totally Rambo. I mean, Wahlburgers and Wahlberg love, Pain and Gain, definitely. Oh, Tom Cruise, Ghost Protocol, of course. What were they thinking? There's so much better Mother's Day recommendations out there. That is so not the kind of Mother's Day stuff I was expecting Target to recommend. But here we are, man. Damn. Oh, Target and their recommendations. You gotta love it, man. That's for damn sure. Wow. I hope you guys definitely enjoyed a weird run through of odd Mother's Day weirdness here at Target. That's for damn sure. And that's about the only thing they got, to be honest with you. But hey, at least it's something. Truth be told, man. Jeez. Oh, Lord. Well, let's hope that in the next location we can actually see some new media instead of some older media. Let's hope. All right, everybody. I am at the third location, the second Walmart. I'm going to go in and check out if there's any interesting indie titles worth showing off. If there is, I'm going to bring it back to Film Fan 108 HQ and show it off to each and every one of you guys. Now, before I do that, I got to talk about a trailer with you guys, and that is none other than the Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. Yes, the sequel to the Hitman's Bodyguard. Let's get it going, baby. Now, this brings back the main players, Ryan Reynolds, Samuel Jackson, and Samuel Jackson's hot, smoking-ass wife in that movie, Selma Hayek. Who else would you be talking about, man? Selma Hayek is like one of the best smoking ladies of all time. Come on. So, basically what this is about is Ryan Reynolds' character is still having nightmares and just can't get over all the trauma that Samuel Jackson put him through in the last movie. And he says to his therapist, I'm going to take a sabbatical away from Bodyguard duties. I'm going to do it. And so, no guns and, just trying to get away from it all. Well, don't you know it? Just when you think they're out, they pull you back in, baby. Samuel Jackson is in trouble. Selma Hayek is trying to find him and rescue him and needs Ryan Reynolds' help. Badass Selma Hayek with a gun mowing motherfuckers down. And weak ass Ryan Reynolds with a mace can. Good luck with that one. Oh man, I love it. Love it, love it, love it, man. So I watched The Hitman's Bodyguard in the movie theaters with Bob. We actually did a movie review. It's on the channel. And we really love that movie, man. We thought Samuel Jackson was great. We love Sam Jackson anyways. But anytime he's like, motherfucker, we're all like, yes. Sam Jackson, baby. We love that. We liked Ryan Reynolds in it, the chemistry between them. We liked the action and the comedy. It was good. It really was, man. I don't know if necessarily we thought of sequel. And this is where I'm a little hesitant on the movie, because I saw that movie and I love that movie and I liked that sort of one-off idea. But I don't know if it technically needed a sequel or not. So I'm a little... Sometimes movies that technically don't need a sequel and are forced a second one doesn't always do the trick. Sometimes it does. Like I look at something like Red 2, where I'm like, Red 2 is not as good as the first Red, but in all honesty, Red 2 still is pretty good overall. Maybe this might be the same way, but I like the fact that all of them are back. I like the bloody, gory violence. I think that's really cool. And, there's something about sort of, having a badass chick with, like, just guns and mowing people down that is, like, instantly satisfying. I don't know about it, man, but, like, seeing Selma Hayek like that is, like, awesome. And I love how she's sort of being very, very quippy and funny with the gun and take charge, and I like that, man. I mean, I've always liked Selma Hayek, dude. I mean, way back in the day when I watched movies like From Dusk Till Dawn or Desperado, I mean, those movies solidified my love for Selma Hayek, but she's been in so much more since then and has done so much great work. And she kind of had a little bit of cool stuff to do in the first movie, but not much. Here, her role grows exponentially, which is great, by the way. And I'm really looking forward to seeing her taking a more spotlight role. It's cool to see Samuel Jackson. I don't know how big of a role Sam Jackson's going to have here, but look, Sam Jackson is great. Big role, small role, guy delivers all the time, man. And as far as Ryan Reynolds is concerned, I like him being the reluctant hero. I like him being that guy that is sort of afraid of things and basically needs to come out of his shell. He's sort of like that scaredy cat. I kind of like that because for some reason that works for Ryan Reynolds. Like, he's a badass guy and he can do badass things, but when he plays the sort of scaredy cat comedy to sort of a badass hero, sort of like that great, like, almost like Abbott and Costello comedy routine or something, and he plays more like the funny man, I think it works better that way. And I think he's in a very nice role here of being the sort of I told my therapist no guns, so I got my mace thing, and so him just trying to avoid killing people is gonna be, I think it's gonna be hilarious, man. I would have never thought of a sequel, but after seeing the trailer, I'm not against it. And I think there's value to seeing these people on screen again. I like the camaraderie between the two. I like the chemistry. I think they were fun together. And so seeing another round of them, I'm okay with it overall. This could be one of those cases of a needless sequel. Like, it doesn't need to be made. but they made it anyways just because the first one made a shitload of money, so why not go a second round? But a second time to the well doesn't always produce the best results. However, sometimes there could be a good surprise there. So I'm willing to give this one a chance. I love Ryan Reynolds as a comedian. I love the action stuff that he can do. Samuel L. Jackson has maybe some badass one-liners and some cool jokes. And Selma Hayek with a fucking badass gun beating the shit out of people. How cool is that? I mean, that alone is like the price of admission. I mean, come on, seriously. It looks good enough, man. I am looking forward to it. Definitely let me know what you guys think of that one. In the meantime, let's head into the second Walmart and hopefully some more physical media to check out. So here I am at good old second Walmart, guys. And I have to admit, we've seen some media this week, but it's been older media and certainly nothing new at all. However, that is about to change, ladies and gentlemen. It absolutely is. I walked into this second Walmart thinking to myself, we are not going to see anything new whatsoever. It's going to be a dead zone at every single store. Well, guess what? I am so wrong, and I am so glad that I am wrong. Actually, quite a few titles here at this second Walmart. A lot of indie weirdness and bizarreness and goodness. And I can't wait to show it off. Seth, you know how we do it, bro. You better show off that media. Ah, yes. It's like that age-old question, guys. Leave the gun, take the cannoli? Or leave the physical media and take the streaming? Wait a minute, that's not right. I would totally take the physical media over the streaming. I mean, isn't that a no-brainer, guys? And speaking of no-brainers, I'd actually take the cannoli, too. I mean, cannolis and physical media together? Man, that's like a really winning combination. Like, that's great, man. I'll have to get me some cannolis soon. But as far as physical media is concerned, well, the second Walmart definitely is going to deliver this time around, dare I say. Now, look, I'm not going to lie. I knew going into this week it was going to be rough waters. I mean, that I knew for positive. And I knew maybe we might have seen something at the first Walmart. In reality, outside of some of the older stuff, didn't really see any newer. I definitely knew almost instantaneously we were not going to even see anything close to new at Target. Just not at all. And so when I went into this Walmart, I thought to myself, I said, oh man, this is just going to be an absolute dead zone this week. It's going to be bad. And surprise, 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 never, and I mean never, underestimate physical media, because just when you think it all goes to hell, just when you think you can't see anything, someone saves the day. And that is definitely the second Walmart, man. And I gotta admit, man, there's something about seeing indie goodness that I just love, man. There's just something about it that really warms my heart. And, you know, seeing oddball titles, seeing things that are out of the ordinary is just kind of fun, man. You know, sometimes they're worthy titles. Sometimes they're movies that, you know, I think, the fuck did they make that shit? But I gotta admit that I appreciate every single one of them because, you know, honestly, there's something about, you know, unique and interesting movies on shelves that is really cool at the end of the day. I mean, truly, if you really think about it, yeah, you know, we see all of the mainstays, the really popular titles, and they're always gonna be there. I mean, it's pretty much a guarantee week in and week out that you're going to see the popular titles there. It just is. The Marvels and the Star Wars and, you know, the DC stuff and a lot of the real big name titles that you come to know year in and year out. But it's these smaller indie titles that don't get nearly the kind of love that maybe they deserve. And even if they don't deserve it, hey, a spotlight or two definitely doesn't hurt. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's cool to see something unique, cool to see something interesting, and the second Walmart always, well, almost, always provides. But this time around, I think they really did a damn good job in delivering, dare I say. And this stack, the weird, the odd, the bizarre, the ridiculous. Get ready for some indie Walmart goodness. Oh, it is that time again, ladies and gentlemen. Walmart goodness. Oh, I cannot wait to see what wonders Walmart will give us this week. I cannot wait, guys. Let's dive right in with the first title being Once Upon a Time in Tombstone. Ooh, okay. Very nice. Where justice was served with the barrel of a gun. Nice. Nice. Not bad cover either. Not bad. What is this about? The Earp Brothers, the Clan Brothers, Doc Holliday, Donna Ringo, the infamous inhabitants in the town of Tombstone. Follow them as Once Upon a Time in Tombstone digs deeper into the lives of these amazing gunfighters and what led to the new historic gunfight. Okay. I don't know, man. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, I look at this synopsis and I'm like, okay, Doc Holliday, and the Earp brothers. Okay, and when I look at that synopsis, I think to myself, hold on a second, wait a minute. You think you can do better than Clint motherfucking Eastwood? Seriously? You think you can do better than that motherfucker? Seriously, man. I mean, come on, man. Unforgiven. Tombstone. Come on, man. I mean, seriously. Like, to me, I look at certain movies, certain westerns, right? I look at certain things, especially stuff that Eastwood directed and was in, and it's like the mic got dropped. I mean, seriously, the mic got dropped. When Clint Eastwood does a western, he does a western. Some of the best westerns are ones that Clint did, hands down, man. I mean, truth be told, honestly. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, like Doc Holliday, their brothers, all of these people, gunslingers and gunfighters. I'm like, that's been done. Clint did it. End of story, man. I mean, he was great. Seriously though, I mean, come on, man. I mean, even movies like Young Guns, stuff like that, man. I mean, they did it. You don't really need this movie, man, and it's probably one of those cheapo movies, right? I mean, they got the rights to it, and they figured, hey, cool, let's make this western with Doc Holliday and their brothers and Wyatt Earp and to Tombstone, and it's gonna be badass, and I'm thinking like, fuck you, man. You are not Clint Eastwood. You cannot do this. You are not Val Kilmer. Doc Holliday, man. Val Kilmer is Doc Holliday. Fuck you, man. Like, seriously. Man, if you're not Clint Eastwood, if you're not John Wayne, if you're not Val Kilmer or Kurt Russell or some of these badass motherfuckers that was in some of those great westerns back in the day, then get the fuck out of here, man. I'm serious. Come on, dude. Like, I know I don't give a lot of westerns a chance, but the reason why I don't, to be fair with you guys, is because I've seen so much good ones out there that I kind of got spoiled. I'm not gonna lie, right? I mean, the Clint Eastwood stuff. I mean, there is some stuff out there that is somewhat good. I think the remake to 310 to Yuma is pretty damn impressive. And there's a couple other ones out there that I like. There was a western not too long back called The Kid, which is pretty decent. But the old school stuff, like High Noon, and as I said, like Young Guns and all the Clint Eastwood, old John Wayne stuff. I mean, man, this shit nowadays can't compare to that, man. Especially this shit. Trying to pull off Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday and Tombstone, man. Trying to copy Clint Eastwood, man. Once upon a time in Tombstone, man. Clint Eastwood will dig your own fucking grave, motherfucker. Tombstone. Get the fuck out of here. And watch out for them body brokers. Yes. Ooh, drugs. Rehab. Profit. Yes. Melissa Leo, Frank Grillo, Michael Kenneth Williams. Selling people's bodies for money. Hey, it's America. You know, they're just making a living. Cut them some slack, will you guys? This is a true and untold story of a multi-billion-dollar drug and alcohol treatment fraud where former drug addicts and dealers become millionaires overnight as body brokers. Oh, okay. Kind of interesting. Huh. I gotta admit, this looks pretty fascinating to me, and I like Melissa Leo and Frank Grillo. Actually, it's kind of cool to see Frank Grillo do something that is not him beating the shit out of people. I mean, not gonna lie, Frank Grillo is really good at beating the crap out of people, but I mean, it's kind of nice to see him doing something different. And Melissa Leo, man, Melissa Leo, if you remember the 2000s, early 2010s, she was like a big indie actress, man. She was almost in like everything back in the day, dude. I mean, she really, really was, man. So good, man. And it's kind of interesting because Melissa Leo, actually really fascinating because a lot of people don't know. I really love her. I think she's actually a really great actress. And the crazy thing about it was that she was in a really great movie. I mean, speaking of body brokers, she played a hooker in a really, really great movie, man. And that movie is none other than Street Walking. Yes. Oh my God, man. This is such a really great motherfucking movie, man. This is great. Oh my God. And when you see this movie, you're like, that's Melissa Leo? Get the fuck out of here. Seriously, man. This is such a really great, fantastic movie, dude. And she is awesome here, playing this hooker that's trying to like get away from this really evil, twisted pimp. Great movie, man. It's kind of weird doing Street Walking and then years later getting into a little body broker love. Oh man. But this is kind of cool to see her in this, man. But I got to admit, I like the idea of this being a true story about a drug and alcohol treatment fraud where they're treating these people and they think they're getting better, but it's this whole scheme. Crazy to think this is a true story, but man, there is some wild shit out in the real world, man. And some of it you think is like so crazy it can't possibly be true. And then you realize, yeah, it actually, weirdly enough, actually is, man. This could probably be a really good sort of drama thriller. It really could be, man. Grillo, Melissa Leo working together. Melissa Leo, gotta love her, man. Back in the day, a hooker, and now, exploiting people's bodies and minds. So wait a minute. She went from the hooker to a certain kind of pimp. Hey, she's moving up in the world. The Summoning. Ooh, what is this? Conjure the dead. Evil will rise. I like that cover, man. Very creepy. With the circle and the candles and some dude in a body bag. Yeah. Sounds like a good Friday night to me. Oh, let's see what this is about, man. A group of people attempting to communicate with the underworld find themselves in the presence of three spirits: father, a mother, and a child. One by one, the group members are possessed by the spirits, revealing horrifying secrets from the past. Trapped and under attack from these violent entities, only one member of the group may hold the key to exorcising the spirits out of the mansion for good. Wait a second, hold on, man. So you're telling me that they contacted these spirits, they wanted to contact them, and now they're terrorizing them and possessing them, and they now want to get rid of it. Fuck you, man. Seriously, fuck you, you piece of shit motherfuckers. I'm serious, man. Wait a minute. So you did this yourself. You brought this on yourself, and now you're shocked when the evil spirits are actually terrorizing you and doing evil, nasty things to you and possessing you. Man, I hope all of these motherfuckers get killed in horrifying ways. I am serious, man. Man, and I know that might be a bad thing to say. Seriously, that might be a terrible thing to say, but I don't care, dude. I seriously don't give a fuck because, come on, man. Like, these people brought it on themselves. Seriously, they're the ones that wanted to contact the underworld. And so this is the result that happens. What, you think it wasn't going to happen? I mean, you were tempting fate. What did you think was going to go on, man? I mean, that's why, dude. That's why I don't fuck with Ouija boards. I don't fuck with Ouija boards. I don't communicate with the dead. You know, I leave that shit alone. I've watched too many horror movies, man. I've watched the Insidious films, the Conjuring shit. I've watched it all, man. All that stuff back in the day, man. Fuck this. Hell no, man. I mean, you know, that old saying, dude, curiosity killed the cat. And it's gonna kill some really stupid motherfuckers too, man. God, I hate this, man. I mean, you know, maybe some of these people are sympathetic, but I don't give a fuck, man. I mean, seriously, you brought this on yourself. And I hope you fucking die. I'm serious, dude. And if they don't die in this movie, if somebody lives, I'm gonna be pissed. You have no idea, man. It's cause and effect, man. You can't do this shit and think you're gonna get away with it, man. What, you think nothing was gonna happen? You think, hey, we're gonna drink and have some fun contacting the underworld. Fuck you, man. Damn. I hope you get torn apart by each and every one of those fucking spirits, man. Father, a mother, and a child. Man, I hope they rip all your asses to pieces. The Inheritance. Ooh, it's another really great cover, actually, not gonna lie. That's really cool, man. Some gifts are a curse. Ah, they ain't lying. Huh, but that is a great cover, though. Ain't gonna lie, man. That's really cool. Huh. Skeletons in the closet are the least of her problems. A woman's inheritance takes her to Europe, where she will uncover a dark and disturbing family secret. Once alone in the house, paranormal occurrences begin and slowly intensify, and she soon realizes things are not what they seem. Indeed, they're not, man. I like this type of movie, but to be fair, we've seen it so many times, haven't we? And sometimes to really great results, and other times kind of middling results. Like, I was thinking of that movie, The Disappointments Room, with Kate Beckinsale, which is an okay movie, to be fair. It's not like the greatest thing in the world. That's okay. Or I was even thinking about that Daniel Craig movie, Dreamhouse, which kind of has a similar vibe. And that's kind of so-so, man. I mean, I like the idea behind this movie, and I like the idea of family secrets and things that are being kept from her and revealing the past and what's going to happen. Like, all of that's really cool. I guess it just depends on how it's done, right? Because once you've seen a few of these movies, you tend to have seen them all, haven't you? I mean, some sort of secret and doors that should remain closed, and there's all those type of movies, right? Yeah, I gotta admit, the cover's cool. I mean, right, the cover's cool, and that's probably what would get anybody in the door, is pretty much the cover. After that, the movie seems to be a little bit of a crapshoot. I'm not saying the movie's bad, because I like the synopsis. Some of the imagery looks kind of cool. But once you've seen a few of these, yeah, pretty much seen them all to a certain extent, man. Ah, this might be one of those cases of great artwork, so movie. Hope I'm wrong, but from previous experiences, no, I hate to say it, but most likely, I think I'm right. More Walmart indie goodness? Be still my heart, baby. Let's dive in. Let's dive in indeed. And the next title we're showing off is Death Ranch. Very nice cover. The family that slays together stays together. Damn right, man. Damn right indeed. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and basically what this movie is, guys, is this trio, two brothers and a sister, they're on the run from the police. And they're gonna hide out for a few weeks. But unbeknownst to them, they're actually in the hunting ground area of an insidious crew of Ku Klux Klan members, and it's basically a race of survival and basically kill or be killed. Okay, now I really didn't know exactly what to expect with this movie, to be fair, man. I like the idea behind the movie, and I definitely wanted to give it a chance. I gotta admit, this is a pretty solid revenge horror thriller movie in a lot of ways. It truly is. I mean, this is definitely in the vein of blaxploitation by far, man. I mean, this movie definitely takes its influence in a big bad way from old school blaxploitation exploitation films from back in the day. I mean, and they also take a lot of influence from Quentin Tarantino. Like, there's certain editing styles here and the way they shoot certain sequences. You're like, wow, they definitely are influenced by Tarantino in a big bad way, man. But it works, honestly. I like the idea, but the relationship between the family members and the idea that they just want to get on with their lives and move on with things and try to be better people, and they just get thrown into this crazy scenario with these Ku Klux Klan members. Now, it basically takes place in the early 70s, if I'm not mistaken, and actually, it's kind of cool that it does that because it takes away the idea of cell phones, modern technology, and you're still in a time when this would definitely be going on in the South in a bad way. So it works to the film's advantage. And I gotta admit, man, these Ku Klux Klan members, man, they are some sickening motherfuckers, dude. Because not only are they Ku Klux Klan members, which is bad enough as it is, right? Because they're evil fucks. But the fact that they're cannibals, they eat black people. I mean, I'm serious. They literally cannibalize black people and eat them. They don't even cook the motherfuckers. They just outright start chomping, man. I'm like, Jesus, damn, man, you can't even like cook the shit. Fuck. And there's one old guy, Ku Klux Klan member, that's being tortured, and he's saying to this one dude, with this one black guy, why do they eat black people? And he's like, well, you know why we eat black folk? He's like, "Oh, I don't know what the hell you doing, because they taste the sweetest." And I'm like, well, what the fuck? I mean. It's a good thing they're not eating Jews. I mean, not gonna lie, we're kind of salty anyway, so you might get high cholesterol and shit. But I mean, damn, man, shit. Man, you're fucking cannibals as well. God, you evil fucks, man. Jeez. But I got to admit that it's a really cool little movie, and I got to admit, when the action goes down and the death and the killing starts happening, they don't hold back. When I say this is a blaxploitation exploitation film, I truly mean it in the best sense of the word, because they are literally killing these Ku Klux Klan members in the best way, whether it's like taking an axe to some dude's genitals, or literally like hacking a guy to pieces, blowing their chest out with a shotgun. You name it, you get to see the blood, you get to see the gore. You know, they do not shy away from it. They show it in a major way. I love the killing. I love the brutality. I love some of the action stuff. I mean, mind you, this is a this is a lower budget movie. They don't have an extravagant amount of money to pull off, I think, some of the stuff they really want to here. But I love the acting here. I like the over the top Ku Klux Klan members that are just one sick fuck after another. And I thought the brutality and the killing is really clever and really well done. And as a blood and gore fan, man, that definitely satisfied my urge in a bad way. This is one of those really great homages to exploitation films, even to Tarantino. A really, really solid exploitation horror thriller that honestly is pretty damn good. I went in with low expectations and I was really pleasantly surprised by this movie, man. It definitely scratched an itch in a bad way. And if you're willing to give it a chance and like old school exploitation films, Death Ranch is pretty damn good. And now I just kind of worry about, I mean, if they eat black people, I mean, that's bad enough. But I mean, can we stay away from the Jews? I mean, you know, I'm not really all that tasty. Just saying. I eat a lot of fatty food. You wouldn't want to eat me, man. Just saying. I'd give you heartburn. Okay, I'd give you heartburn. Just leave me out of it, will ya? It's time to be interviewing monsters and Bigfoot. Oh, man. Not in my forest. You don't. Damn. All right, guys. I got a chance to watch this thing on Amazon Prime, okay? And the reason why I want to even check this out is because of this guy right here. Tom motherfucking Green, man. When I heard him, oh my God, wait a minute. Tom Green? You mean like hump a dead moose, Tom Green? like seeing like roadkill on the road and humping it, Tom Green? That dude? Okay. I was intrigued. And I gotta admit, back in the day, I was an old school Tom Green fan. I mean, truly, I was. I watched religiously on MTV the Tom Green Show. I watched it. I mean, I watched that shit and some of the movies that he was in. I mean, Road Trip, of course, and well, yeah, you know, the other infamous Tom Green movie. Oh God, Freddy Got Motherfucking Fingered. Oh my God, talk about an insane, weird ass movie, dude. Jesus, man, I back in the day I ate that shit up, dude. I really did, and it's interesting because he kind of faded out of existence, didn't he? I mean, Green really did. And it was like a few months ago, I saw him doing an interview on the Drew Barrymore show. He did an interview with her, and I'm like, oh my God, Tom Green, fucking blast from the past. Jesus, man, where the hell has he been? And I was like, wow, dude, he got like super old. And I was like, jeez. And I was like, damn, man, I hadn't seen him in a long time, and now seeing him in this movie. So I decided, what the hell, man. Now, basically, what this is about is basically it's just about this small community, this small town that has been plagued by Bigfoot for a long time. And it's just interviewing the town and them trying to capture Bigfoot and, you know, their interactions with the beast and you name it. Just hilarity and craziness kind of ensue from there. I'm not gonna lie, man. I wanted to like this movie. I really did. Now, it's got an interesting idea. Bigfoot, right? I mean, there is some really solid Bigfoot movies out there. I mean, The Legend of Boggy Creek, pretty good. Willow Creek, that movie directed by Bobcat Goldthwait, not bad. Okay, decent. My favorite Bigfoot movie of all time, favorite hands down, man, and that is actually ah Abominable. I love Abominable. This is a really, really great movie. It takes the concept of Rear Window meets a Bigfoot movie, and I like that. I think it's really great. I love the Bigfoot himself. I think the design is amazing. I like the kills here. It's a good little sort of horror thriller Bigfoot movie. It's really good, man. Abominable is fantastic. So I figure, why not, man? And I'm not gonna lie, because Bigfoot is always one of those creatures that has always really intrigued people over the years, right? I mean, it truly has. There's been so many TV shows, reality shows that have been made about Bigfoot, and I love them. I actually love the hilariousness of those TV shows because it's always kind of fascinating, right? Because you have you have these reality shows where they're like, well, we got a sample of a footprint we think is a squatch. We're gonna analyze it. And then they analyze it and everything, and they're still in the woods hunting, and we got back the analysis. It wasn't. It was a bear footprint. But we know we're close to the squatch. Come back next week when we find more evidence and get closer to finding the squatch. And I'm like, every single fucking episode is like, we think we found evidence. We think there's a hair, or look, there's a cave. There might be a hideout. And you're like, oh, come on. You never find any goddamn thing, man. Now, I'm not saying Bigfoot isn't real. There is certain evidence, but I, I'm waiting until I see it, man. I mean, truly. But it's just kind of fascinating to me, dude. So I was like, okay, let me give this thing a look, dude. And so I'm not gonna lie, this movie is fucking god awful, dude. It really is, man. I mean, the Bigfoot suit is kind of okay. It's a little chintzy and cheapo and not that impressive, but I can kind of look past that a little bit. What really brings this movie down is basically the acting is god awful, is absolutely dreadful. Basically, what they try to do in this movie is almost make it almost like a quirky comedy, almost like something out of Fargo meets a Bigfoot film. I mean, the flat out dry humor of the characters, the goofiness of some of these people, and just the fact that this movie is like almost like a redneck comedy gone terribly, terribly wrong, dude. I mean, these characters are all stupid. They're idiotic. They're all completely self-absorbed rednecks, and they're trying to come off as like genuine people and try to come off as like the comedy of like trying to deal with the squatch, and you're just like, oh, fuck off, man. God, these people are annoying. They're terrible. It's just an absolute borefest, and it's not really even a Bigfoot movie either. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, because literally there's not much Bigfoot in this movie. It's mainly the community being interviewed about their interactions with the Bigfoot itself, but it's more of like weird relationship stuff. Like, oh, well, I'm dating Sue Ann, but Sue Ann doesn't want to deal with me anymore because I went out and I tried to find the squatch. And it's like weird relationship comedy and people in the woods trying to hunt down Bigfoot and the hilarity of getting caught in traps and everything. It's so fucking dumb, man. And what's even worse here is fucking Tom Green, man. Oh God. I mean, first off, Tom Green is literally billed at the top here. I mean, he's right on the cover. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys, Tom Green is barely in this movie. If he's in this movie a total of maybe a half hour, I'd be shocked. I mean, I'm serious. He's barely in this movie and he gets top billing. And also, he is so terrible in this. He's trying to be half serious, and the other half of the time he's trying to be maybe goofy old school Tom Green. Right? That there's moments where you see that old school shade of Tom Green of like intentionally goofy, trying to make really dry ass jokes. You can kind of tell, but then there's other moments where you're like, he's ultra serious and he's serious about the hunting of Bigfoot. And you're like, wow, man, these two worlds totally don't go together, man. Such an odd performance and so odd to see Tom Green here. I mean, he doesn't fit in this movie whatsoever. He is such an oddity in this film, man. But I feel bad about people who are gonna dive into this movie. I feel really fucking terrible. And the reason why I say that is because if somebody looks at this cover, first of all, the cover looks really cool, right? I mean, I like the artwork there, the Bigfoot in the background. Like, I like the artwork. And then you see Tom Green's name and him on the cover. And there's something about Tom Green where you're like, oh my God, it's Tom Green, and I haven't seen him in a long time. Like, oh, the Tom Green show, and oh, you humping a dead moose, and oh my God, and all these things are happening, and oh, remember when he was fighting with that snake in Road Trip, and oh, and he was like having a goofy time, and Freddy got fingered, and you start remembering stuff, and it's sort of that nostalgia, right? And you think to yourself, oh, I'm definitely gonna watch this. I'm gonna buy this. I'm telling you guys. I mean, you can give it a chance if you want, but I'm being real with you guys. This movie is a bore fest. It's got lame jokes in here. Tom Green is barely in here, and when he is, he's practically a limp dick. I mean, to me, this is I gotta admit, probably one of the worst Bigfoot movies I've ever seen. I've seen a few really bad ones, man. This one has got to rank high up there. Really, it's just a lame excuse to put Bigfoot into a redneck comedy that is so lame to begin with. And Tom Green, man, just please go back to obscurity, brother, because you know what? There's something about that nostalgia of remembering Tom Green. Goofy as the guy was, I kind of liked the old school goofiness of Tom Green, but fuck, man. God, you had to get old and you had to turn lame and ruin my childhood memories of you, motherfucker. Seriously. Why can't you just go back to torturing Rip Torn? Oh, man. Freddy got fingered. Shit. I'd rather see a fucking sequel to that than interviewing monsters and Bigfoot. In fact, why couldn't there be a Freddy Got Fingered sequel with Bigfoot in it? Oh God. I really should stop. I may be giving Tom Green some material. And the next title, Crisis. Every life has a price. Gary Oldman, Armie Hammer, Evangeline Lilly. Nice cast. Very nice indeed. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and the synopsis really intrigues me. Basically it's a movie set against the backdrop of the opioid crisis. And it's like these three or four stories that interweave together. And basically about greed and death and money and betrayal. And it's a very, very fascinating movie. I'm not gonna lie, man. At first, I wasn't gonna watch this movie. I'm not gonna lie. There was a part of me that was really sort of hesitating watching this thing because I thought, God, this is probably gonna be a real bore fest. I don't know, just something about it. I just thought, God, this is gonna be a real bore, man. But with the acting talent here, I thought it's got to be worth it in some way, right? It's got to be. And actually, it really, really was, man. It is a really, really fascinating movie. It really, truly is, man. And all the actors do an amazing job here. I mean, Army Hammer, Gray playing this FBI agent who is trying to track down these dealers and take them down in this big bust. Or you have somebody like Evangeline Lilly who plays this mother who basically is trying to overcome a previous addiction that she had, and her teenage son, spoiler alert, teenage son dies, and she is basically in search of answers and in search of what's going on and getting revenge for her son's death. Or Gary Oldman, who plays this scientist researcher that is helping do research for an upcoming drug that this drug company is doing to maybe help people, with addiction. But what he realizes is that perhaps the drug that they're actually looking into might be a cause of addiction and might be even worse, putting it on the street and people actually being on this thing. And it could literally cause more death and more addiction in the actual communities that it's trying to help. And it's just a very interesting mix of these three stories interweaving with one another. And man, is it a really phenomenal film. I mean, again, the performances are amazing. It's really intense. It's very thrilling. It's extremely dramatic and very, very well done. Actually, the movie reminded me a lot of Traffic. Like, if you guys remember that movie with Benicio del Toro and Michael Douglas and a whole host of other actors, that is a really fantastic movie. And this definitely felt very similar to Traffic in a lot of ways, man. And it's very fascinating because of it dealing with the opioid crisis. And there's not really many movies, if you really think about it, that deal with the opioid crisis. I mean, there's a lot of movies that deal with obviously marijuana or heroin, ecstasy, you name it, but not really much yet about the opioid crisis. And this is one of the first ones that are really dive into it and delve really deep into the causes and effects and the dangers. And I thought it was incredibly fascinating. And what's really, I don't know, upsetting to me in some ways is the fact that this is true in a lot of ways. I mean, it's not true story, but it's true in the fact that this stuff really happens. People are really addicted to opioids and the dangers and the tragedies that happen because of it. And the idea that lives are ruined, people get killed, and others turn a blind eye to the causes and effects simply out of making more money. And it's really fascinating. It truly is, man. And all the performances, like I said, are amazing. I mean, from the biggest roles to the tiny roles, I mean, Michelle Rodriguez is in here as well as a few other notable actors. And everybody does phenomenal here, man. And it's really cool to see, you know, it's interesting because with such high profile actors, you'd think this would get a little bit more love, that it wouldn't go direct to DVD. But again, I think with the coronavirus and I think with certain movies that pretty much got shelved, I think that eventually they just had to be released. And Crisis is definitely one of them. But I think it's a shame because I think this movie needs to be seen. I really do think it needs to be seen. It's very dramatic. It's extremely well told. I love the interweaving of the stories. And it's a real eye-opening movie, to me at least. Sort of the way the Traffic was, where you really see all angles of the crisis and you really see how it affects every single sector of life. And it really truly is a powerful movie, man. I mean, you know, there's a moment in this movie where Gary Oldman is trying to say, "Hey, look, this drug that you guys want to approve and make money on, it is extremely addictive, and people are not going to want to get off of this thing. And I thought we were trying to help people, and we're just giving them another drug to be addicted to. And these people just are like, well, we want to ignore that. We don't care." And unfortunately, that is the truth. I mean, whether it's like oxycodone or a lot of these other drugs, the idea that you literally can get addicted to this stuff. And these people don't care. As long as they make a profit, they don't give a fuck. As long as these dealers are out there on the streets, they don't care about your well being as long as you give them the next bit of money for your next fix. And literally seeing families torn apart and tragedies happen simply because of one mistake. It's really fascinating, really amazing. And you know what? I have seen a lot of stuff. My girlfriend is actually a big fan of that show, Intervention. And it's actually a really fascinating show. I really didn't get into it much before dating her. And now that I'm really deep into dating her at this point, like I've watched a lot of Intervention, man. And it's so fascinating about the twisted logic that these people who are addicted to this stuff really try to go out of their way to say, "Oh, it's not that bad," or "I'm not that addicted and I don't need a new fix." And then suddenly they go back again, whether it's to the pills or the bottle or you name it. I mean, I have an addiction. I mean, I'm addicted to buying physical media. I mean, that's not bad. Hey, I'll take an addiction to physical media over drugs any day of the week, baby. But that being said, man, you know, I know some people are probably going to look at this film and pass it by because they think, "Oh, this is a bore fest," right? It's just gonna be this movie where it's gonna be a little bit preachy and overly dramatic and hit you over the head with a message. And I guess it kind of does to a certain extent. I'm not gonna lie, guys. But I'm gonna also be real with you and say that yes, it doesn't have like, an exploitation feel to it. It's not sci-fi, it's not horror, but I think sometimes real life can be just as fascinating and just as horrific as any horror movie or any science fiction film that you could possibly imagine. And Crisis, I think this movie easily deserves to be seen, man. I mean, if you love movies like Traffic and a lot of those hard-hitting drug movies, Crisis is right up there, man. And I hope to God that years from now, this really finds an audience. Because I feel like because it's just being put out on physical media, on DVD, and sort of just put out there really quickie, that I think it's going to pass a lot of people by. But I'm telling you, give this one a look because it's extremely solid. The performances are amazing and the story is extremely well executed. This one, honestly, is one of the best drug movies that I've seen in a really long while, man. It really got to me. It was emotional and I loved every second of this movie, man. This is one of those really powerful movies that really has to be seen to be believed. And last, but certainly not least, The Mortuary Collection, a Shudder original. Every corpse has a story. Yes, indeed they do, baby. One dark, twisted, evil story for every corpse in this mortuary, baby. Definitely, man. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and I'm not gonna lie, man. I was really hesitant about watching this movie. Now, why? Why would I be very hesitant about this film? Well, because it's a Shudder original. That's why. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I mean, I've seen enough Shudder originals now that I can kind of make a little bit of an opinion, heads or tails, on how I feel about it. And I gotta admit, a lot of the Shudder originals that I've seen have been really lame attempts at horror films. Very lame and limp dick attempts, and it just feels like copycat films that have been done way better in the past by better filmmakers, and a lot of them just feel like very useless films that I don't really care for. So I'm not gonna lie, I went to the Mortuary Collection really just fearing that I was gonna hate this thing, and damn, was I pleasantly shocked and pleasantly surprised by this movie. Now, basically, it's about this young girl who meets up with this undertaker at this mortuary, and he starts to spin these yarns and these tales about some of the dead bodies that are in the mortuary and the history behind them. And it's one of, again, out of many, many, many of them out there, yet another horror anthology tale, folks. And I'm not gonna lie, man, I love horror anthology movies. I really do. I mean, horror anthology is some of the best horror out there. And so I look at the Mortuary Collection and I thought, okay, some of the newer horror anthologies, they're not all bad. Some are actually pretty decent, but they're not as good as the old school ones. Let's be fair. I mean, in reality, the old school ones are so much better, man. And I thought, what is this movie really going to bring to the table that the newer ones really haven't done? I mean, how is this going to separate itself? How is this going to rise above the rest? And it really does a great job, man, of doing just that, of really feeling old school and classic and feeling almost like an homage to some of those really great horror anthologies from back in the day. And first off, the acting, I think, is really well done, not only in all the stories, but the main narrator of those tales being the man, the myth, the legend himself, right there, baby. Oh, man. Oh, so good, dude. So good. Clancy motherfucking Brown, man. Yes. Clancy, man. You know, I gotta admit, I love Clancy. I really do. Whether it's Buckaroo Banzai, which I thought he was awesome in, Pet Sematary 2, which he's really great. He did a small stint on Lost that I really loved. And overall, man, Clancy is just great. I just love him in so many different movies and the TV show appearances that he's done. He's just a really great, classy actor that really knows how to give a great performance no matter what movie he's in or TV show. He just always brings it, man. And this time around as The Undertaker, he nailed it, man. I mean, he has a similar vibe to the Undertaker from Tales from the Hood, or even sort of Vincent Price as well. He has that sort of same feel to him, and it works really well, man. I mean, it truly does. He brings a gravitas and a creepiness to the role that just works absolutely perfectly, man. And I gotta tell you, all of the tales in this are really great, man. Some are very twisted love stories, others are twisted revenge tales, but all of them are done absolutely perfectly. Whether it's a tale about a man who wants to get rid of his dying wife, or a college student who picks the wrong woman to sleep with, and so many more, man. I mean, one of my favorites was definitely a very interesting twist on a killer stalking a babysitter. Very fascinating stuff, man. But I thought, I mean, even though those are things you've seen before in a lot of ways, I think how they do it is very clever and very ingenious. And I like the twists and turns in here. And it really felt like this is a filmmaker who has seen a lot of horror anthologies, loves the horror genre, and knows that you're not exactly going to compete with the old school movies as far as horror anthologies are concerned, but you can make something that really feels like an old school great homage and nostalgic piece to those old school films that you knew and loved. And it works perfectly, man. I mean, from the setting with this old dark house and the creepy Undertaker telling the stories to really at times with the side stories feeling at times connected with the characters or really feeling like they're evil and you want them to have their comeuppance, and when they do, it's just absolutely glorious. I love the wraparound story. I love all of the individual tales here. I gotta tell you, this movie really surprised me. I'm not gonna lie, man. I went into this movie with a almost like pit in my stomach of like, oh my god, this thing is gonna be terrible, and I gotta talk about this movie and another Shudder original that's gonna really disappoint me. But it didn't. It didn't disappoint, and I'm so shocked by that. Seriously, I was ready to get ready to shit all over this film, man. And from the word go, when Clancy Brown showed up in his Undertaker gear and his old man makeup and started telling the stories, and then I got into each of them and just loving the twisted tales and the killing and the death and the blood and gore. I mean, some of it is best. I mean, kind of a spoiler here, but one of my best deaths in this film is actually somebody who gives birth uh, through his genitals, and it is wild, and I loved it. I was like, "Oh my god, man, that is awesome," and I loved every second of it, man. It's twisted, and it's clever, and it's dark, and as an old school fan of horror anthologies, damn did I love this one. I mean, I truly do. I mean, I love horror anthologies, guys. I mean, I truly do, man. I mean, whether we're talking about stuff like Body Bags, which is really absolutely amazing, man. Body Bags is glorious. Love Body Bags so much. Or, of course, oh, come on, man. Creep Show. Creep Show is amazing, guys. Absolutely amazing. Creep Show is classy, baby. Very classy. I mean, hell, I mean, Tales from the Hood. As much as I love Tales from the Hood, that is really amazing. And even this one that I was kind of hinting at a little bit earlier, Clancy Brown sort of has a lot of feel to Vincent Price in From a Whisper to a Scream. Really great, not as well known horror anthology, but still really amazing, man. I mean, these ones are really great, and you could tell that the Mortuary Collection really takes a lot from all of those movies. Really honestly does, man. It takes so much from those films and elements from Tales from the Hood, elements from A Whisper to a Scream, a Creep Show. It really knows how to balance the horror and the great emotions and sympathies and the anger that you feel towards these characters, and just a great thrill ride of a horror anthology. And I'm so shocked. I'm seriously shocked, guys, because I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of these newer horror anthologies that just don't do it for me. I don't know, maybe they try too hard, and maybe they're trying to be too much like the old school films, that maybe they're too much of copycats. And what's great about the Mortuary Collection is that it's not trying to be a copycat exactly. It's trying to pay homage to those old school ones, but yet be its own thing at the same time. And I think it really works, man. I gotta tell you, out of a lot of the newer horror anthologies that are out there in the ether nowadays, the Mortuary Collection honestly is one of the best ones out there. It truly is. This movie shocked the shit out of me, guys. I think this is a really classy horror anthology that really feels like a great mix of the old school horror anthology love and a little bit newer stuff that's trying to reinvent the wheel, so to speak, but yet still has a lot of love and respect for the past. So amazing, so great, and the cover art here is really intriguing as well. I could see somebody going into a store, seeing the cover art and picking it up, and I'm telling you, if they do it, they are not going to be disappointed, man. I mean, as somebody who loves horror anthologies, as somebody who has really loved so many and has seen so many of them, I see the similarities to some of the other ones. I see some of the homages and the really great tributes to it. But yeah, I also see them trying to do some cool, new, interesting stuff, and I really truly appreciate it, man. I think if you are a fan of horror anthologies, I think you're gonna look at this and you're gonna really love the kind of respect that they give the old school ones. And I think if you never dived into horror anthologies before, honestly, I think Mortuary Collection is a really great jumpstart into a great genre of horror that is absolutely phenomenal and has some of the best horror films of all time, man. The Mortuary Collection is a really great horror anthology for older fans of horror anthologies and newer fans as well. Covers all the bases and does such a damn good job at it as well. Damn, man. I'm so fucking shocked about this movie, guys. I was not expecting how good this movie was gonna be. It blew my mind away. I can't say that every Shutter original is gonna be good, but this one, man, stands head and shoulders above the rest. It truly does, dude. You guys gotta give this a chance. Seriously, I think you're gonna love it. I definitely did, man. As an old school lover of horror anthologies, man, this really scratched the itch. Definitely in a big bad way, man. Truly did, man. And I got to admit, man, talk about second Walmart love. Oh, I got to tell you, man, so good. Second Walmart always delivers on some weird and unique and very fascinating titles. And this time around, definitely did not disappoint. Hell comes to Tombstone. Surviving man-eating Ku Klux Klan members. Jeez. Let's just hope kosher's off the menu. Ah, the body brokers are in town for profit. Ah, paranormal and dark secrets. Tom Green and stupid Bigfoots don't go together. Ah, opioid crises and it's the story of a corpse's body that was sent to a mortuary where this undertaker told these stories about murder and vengeance. Da, 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 da. Hey! Oh, I could have gone on, guys, but you get the drift. Yes! Second Walmart goodness, guys. Look at this. Wow. Holy shit. Can you seriously believe this? Like, I did not think I was going to find this much goodness at the second Walmart. Seriously. Like, this week is kind of a dead zone. And to see this is truly a gift. That's for damn sure, guys. Oh baby, man, what a really great stack, man. That was awesome, dude. And seeing all those indie title goodness, some worth it, some not so much. But I gotta tell you, truly great titles worth checking out, man. And I think it just goes to show that, look, these next weeks are going to be really rough for physical media. I mean, man, it really is. It's going to be like a really dead zone, not much to really show off at all. And yet, there is still stuff to find. And why is that exactly? I mean, even in the darkest of weeks of physical media, there's still stuff to find and still stuff to show off. Why is that? And the reason for it, at least in my opinion, is that physical media is still very much worth it. Physical media still has a place within the movie entertainment business. Do you know how many movies out there? And I'm not talking about the big name ones. I'm talking about the little guys. How many of them truly get a shot on a digital platform, on streaming? Not many. And if they do, they end up getting buried amongst an algorithm of tens and thousands of movies that are much higher on the list, that people are going to search for more, and it just gets dumped into a pile and just gets lost in the shuffle. There's something about perusing, all the shelves of a store for physical media, and there's something about looking at the artwork and seeing it on the shelves and having it just wash over you and hit you like a hammer. And you instantly intrigued by a title because of the artwork or because of the plot, you name it, or the price. It doesn't matter. And there's something about that can't be beat by digital, by streaming. It just can't. As much as streaming has become the king in a lot of ways, that it's really become the go-to for so many people, I see the benefits of it. I see the alluring quality. But at the same time, I say to myself, you know what? These movies are bouncing around streaming services constantly. The prices are going to go insanely up. And these titles that you might be into now may not be there within a year or 2 years. And I think there's something about having a collection and having those movies in your collection that gives you that power, that freedom that you wouldn't normally get otherwise through a digital platform. I don't say digital platforms are bad, because they're not. But there's something about having a physical copy that truly speaks to people in a way that having a digital platform doesn't. And I think these smaller movies benefit the best from physical in a lot of ways, guys. I mean, they truly, truly do. And, seeing these movies at the second Walmart is really great. Seeing love for the smaller guys is always worth it. And, whether it's good or bad or what I think about it, it doesn't matter, guys, because it needs to be shown off for you guys, for each of those titles to be given a chance in one way or another. So, just means more Walmart indie goodness. The more I can find, the more I'm definitely going to show off for you guys. I hope you guys appreciate it. I truly do myself. Just love showing off all this wonderful indie goodness. It's just a wild ride every single time I get to see some cool indie stuff. And this week definitely was no exception, guys. Oh, what a stack, dude. But hopefully the physical media is not over yet, but we're heading to a fourth location, which, quite frankly, guys, has been a little bit on the rough side as of late. Can I turn it around? Well, let's hope and find out. But how about we head to the fourth location and see if any physical media will be worth giving a look to. All right, everybody, we are at our fourth and final location. And when you're doing the out and about, you got Walmart and you got Target, but you need one more element. You need one more part of the recipe, so to speak. You can't do it without a little beast love. Yes, indeed, we are our next location, and that is none other than Best Buy. The Beast. Best Buy, baby. Now, this week hasn't been as bad as I thought it was going to be. Yeah, not a ton of new release love, but surprised how much we saw some older titles, a little bit newer stuff from the second Walmart. So, we've seen some stuff here and there, so it hasn't been as bad as I thought it was going to be. But could we see some really great stuff at the Beast? Well, they've been kind of lacking as of late, I'm not going to lie. But could this week turn around? Kind of doubtful. But, hey, we'll go in, find out, and see what kind of love the Beast will give physical media this week. All right, we are back in at glorious, well, used to be glorious, Best Buy, under the new release section. And guys, yeah, they have Soul, they have Crudes, they have News of the World, boy, you have Godfather Coda, Mulan, New Mutants, Freaky, yeah. But nothing new this week whatsoever. Nothing new at all. And kind of bare over on this side, too. Yep. And on the other side, guys, yeah, it's exactly the same thing. I mean, still 84 Love, Earwig, Fatale, down with Chapter 3. Under the new releases, hey, they had to fill a spot. Love and Monsters, 1917, Doom Patrol, yeah, but again, no new release love. And again, very bare. Is it just me, or they're not really filling the new release sections? Well, let's hope the back is a little bit better. And is it any better in the back? Well, not really, guys. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't see any new release love whatsoever over here at all, man. I mean, nothing, not a zippo, zilch, baby. Nothing. I mean, they have all the same regulars, man. I mean, they got the Toll Man. Oh, of course they do. They have Hitman. They have why? 12.99. I wanna make sure nobody buys this motherfucker. I mean, if somebody buys it, they better be buying it simply for wiping their ass. I mean, if they got no toilet paper around, Walmart is all out, Target is all out, all your areas are all out. If you're looking for toilet paper to wipe your ass, maybe $12.99, but it ain't gonna be good toilet paper. Just saying, it's gonna be kind of rough on your ass. But if you got no other option, money playing that. They got that. I mean, Spell, which is really great. I like that movie. They still got some steelbooks of My Bloody Valentine here, like 3 of them, dude. Surprised that didn't sell out for $22.99. Hell, they actually still got one of the 4K collector's editions of Prince of Darkness for $24.99. Great edition. Shocked that didn't sell out. I mean, they also have Arch Enemy, which I really do love Arch Enemy. That's a really solid film, and if you guys have not watched this yet, definitely do it. Really good sort of anti-hero take on like a superhero film. Very, very interesting. Very, very, very dark and twisted, but I like that one quite a bit, man. At that, Random Acts of Violence. Enough Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. Love to choke a horse, but ain't nobody buying this shit. They got that. They got more Friday the 13th Part 2 love, at least. More Steelbook love. They got that. They actually do have the Blu-ray of The Reckoning for $12.99, about a week or so late, but hey, they at least got it in. Pretty solid Neil Marshall witch film. It's not great, and it's not perfect, but I do kind of enjoy the film overall, man. I do. Not many people do. They found it kind of boring. I didn't. But I can understand where they're coming from, man. So, I say give it a chance at least. But for $12.99, Blu-ray's not bad. Of course, they got Monster Hunter. They do have actually more steelbooks of Gattaca in stock for $26.99. I actually thought this was going to be completely sold out and we'd never see it again. Nice to actually see this. I know they're coming out with a regular 4K edition, not the steelbook, just a regular, 4K with the slip with different artwork. But I kind of like the steelbook. I'm not going to lie, man. It looks good. It looks really cool, man. I'm glad I picked up mine. And I think I picked mine up for a slightly lower price, I believe. But it's good to have them back in stock. The people who missed it hopefully can pick them up, man. I mean, they got that. They got Accepted, which is a really, really great comedy, old school comedy, man. I love that movie. Great. They got Max Cloud, which is actually a pretty decent sci-fi film, man. It takes a lot of homage from the 80s. Really like that one. They do have Skylines, and I got to admit, not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Not great, but compared to the other Skyline movies, surprised how much this was not bad, actually. Surprised on that. They have the Raid Collection, which I'm actually surprised they never made a third Raid movie. I thought they were. I thought they were going to make a trilogy out of it, but they never did. I like the Raid 2, but I kind of like the first Raid much more than the Raid 2. I think that first one's really fantastic, man. The Raid 2 is pretty solid, but not as good as the first Raid film, though. But got that. Schitt's Creek. They got the 4K of Total Recall. Very nice. Little Arnold sci-fi weirdness. Gotta love that shit. You got that. The Gentleman. Jojo Rabbit on 4K. Holy hell, I was about to like shit myself. I literally saw the price of that, but that was the Gotham Complete series for $74.99. I thought to myself, wait a minute, the 4K is $74.99 for Jojo Rabbit? Like, what the fuck? Like, I heard of weird pricing, but it was like, holy shit. I'm like, what the hell? Wow, okay. Yeah, they need to change that one up. That's kind of nutty. That, The Hunt, Dr. Sleep, Ford v Ferrari, Avengers Endgame. Really good one. Antebellum, Die Hard. Christmas movie or no Christmas movie? It's not a Christmas movie. I know. You guys are gonna rip my head off and shit down my neck by saying that. I don't think it's a Christmas movie. Hashtag sorry, not sorry. Yeah, I mean, they got some older titles here. I mean, they got It Chapter 2, Gladiator, 21 Bridges, Alien Covenant, Jumanji, Little Women, Ready or Not. They do have Office Space. Nice. I wish this would get a really great edition. Like, a really great, like... I would actually kind of like to see Arrow Video releases, or like Shout Select or something, release a version of Office Space. I'd love to see that. I really would, man. A really great addition. I'd love to see. Office Space is great, by the way. Great Mike Judge comedy, man. Great. That and Idiocracy. Brilliant. Classic, baby. The Mule, Underwater. By the way, with Underwater, actually, this Blu-ray digital edition, for the longest time, I could not find it in any store. I think it was like out of print or something. Like, nobody could find it. It was going for like big money. It was getting really rare, and now you find it all over the place now. I mean, it's a really phenomenal movie, man. So I mean, $20 for the Blu-ray digital is pretty damn good. If you're waiting for the 4K on this, you're probably gonna wait for a very fucking long time, because that's probably never gonna happen, man. Pick up the Blu-ray, man. The movie's fucking awesome. Then Star is Born, Sonic the Hedgehog. I mean, they got stuff. Some stuff, at least, but not a ton. I was hoping that Best Buy is going to get better. And maybe it will. But right now... Wow. Kind of sucky. Well, better luck next time. Good God. Seriously, there is nothing new here whatsoever, man. And I keep coming here every single week thinking to myself, and thinking, oh, okay, this week they're going to change. This week they're going to really fill the physical media section up, and we're going to really beef up the physical media again here, and a lot of really great, interesting titles we're talking about, and some interesting steelbooks, and hey, we're going to get back to physical media goodness at Best Buy, and no. I mean, let's be real, guys. I mean, when your physical media section looks like Mother Hubbard's cupboard, there's a problem. You know what I'm saying? There's a real fucking problem, man. I mean, they have some stuff on the side here, some cool physical media on the side, but not enough to really intrigue people. I know that some people in other areas say their Best Buys are slowly getting better. There's more physical media. Maybe mine will happen eventually. Maybe I'll see some really great physical media sooner rather than later here at the Beast again. I want to. I really do, but I'm slowly but surely losing a little bit of hope every time I come in here, guys. And I'm just hoping that might change. Hopefully very soon, guys. I mean, seriously, I mean, this is just kind of ridiculous. I mean, look at this, man. I mean, whole areas that are empty. Not much physical media here. Yeah, here and there. I know Best Buy can do better. I know they can. I've seen it. Let's hope that one day we get back to physical media that truly defines Best Buy. Not this. Not this, guys. Not this. Seriously, not this. Until that happens, well, I guess a physical media lover can dream. You hear that, physical media gods? How many times do I have to pray to you? Maybe I have to pray morning, noon, and night. And in between meals. And before I go to bed. And maybe before and after I brush my teeth. Maybe that might help. More praying to the physical media gods never hurt. And in Best Buy's case, man, they need a whole fucking church to pray. Oh, boy, guys. Alright, well, could have been a hell of a lot better. A lot of weak sauce here this week at the Beast. Well, let's hope it gets better. Please. In the meantime, let's head home and finish the video. Alright, everybody. That'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD out and about video this week. And boy, talk about a little bit of rough waters, dare I say, man. But as I said earlier, the next few weeks are gonna be that, man. I mean, that's just the honest to God truth. There is great things coming on the horizon, but you know, it was interesting, and I've talked about this before, but last year, when the pandemic really started and movie theaters had just pulled the plug on everything and nothing was being released, I was seriously thinking that physical media was going to die down 110%. We weren't going to see anything in the stores at all. It was going to be a complete and utter dead zone. And that was never the case. Crazy enough, it was never the case. We always found something worth checking out, some new release that came out. And it's weird that just now we're starting to feel the effects of everything that happened with the pandemic and the entertainment industry. Now we're really starting to slow down a lot because now as things are slowly starting to ramp back up, not much has been released and therefore physical media takes a little bit of a dive because of it. But I gotta admit that just because the stores are lacking, and when they lack, they really do, guys, that doesn't mean that physical media is completely dead. There is so many titles that are being released by these boutique labels. There's so many titles that are on pre-order. There's sales going on online at various websites. And so don't just assume that just because the in-store stuff is not as good at times that physical media is completely dying. Sometimes that's the narrative that gets the most attention. But at the end of the day, physical media is still very much alive, and depending on what you're into, man, is it plentiful right now. So I so wish that all the great stuff that is online could be in the stores, but that's just not the case, and these stores just are not going to carry what I want them to carry. But just know, guys, that when I do these out and about, I'm trying my hardest, my utmost to find media to show off to you guys. And sometimes that's easier said than done. Other times it's like pulling teeth. But you know, at the end of the day, I want to let you guys know that, you know, just because there's rough waters right now doesn't mean that physical media is dying and it's dead. It's still very much thriving and still very much out there. So if you're looking for a title, if you're looking for some cool stuff and you can't find it in the stores, don't worry, because there's online. And yeah, we want to support the stores. I love supporting the stores, but at the end of the day, you got to get your physical media somehow. And if you can't get in stores, then definitely online, guys. So definitely look up some great stuff online, because boy, man, talk about some really great stuff that's coming out, man. So physical media not dying anytime soon, regardless of certain weeks where physical media might be a little bit of a wash. It ain't dead. It ain't dead by a long shot, guys. That's for damn sure, man. But even though it's a slow week, there's still always stuff to check out. So hopefully you guys found something good. If you did, definitely let me know. As far as I'm concerned, well, I actually picked up quite a bit, man. So, man, where do I start? So, the first thing I got, actually, I got at Target this week. And, when I was looking at that display for that weird Mother's Day end cap, which made absolutely no sense, in back of it, I was looking at some of the anime stuff. Not that I was much of an anime person, but something really stood out to me that ended up not being anime, but is based off of an anime. And that is Tokyo Ghoul. Now, the reason why this really stood out to me was because of the slip. Like, I love the colors with the slip. I love the eye, the design. Really cool, man. And I dived into it more. It's actually a live action version, which is very interesting. It's basically about this guy who turns like half human, half ghoul, and he has to feed on flesh. And there's this society of ghouls um, that basically are trying to welcome him into the club, and basically humans are trying to hunt the ghouls, and he's trying to figure out what side he wants to be on. It's very interesting, very odd, but that's sort of Japan Asian cinema for you. I mean, it looks great. I've never heard of the anime or anything like that, but I gotta tell you, this really intrigues me. And one of my goals for 2021, one of my goals is to actually get into more Asian Japanese cinema. Is one of my goals. I kind of told you guys last year in one of the pickup videos that that was a goal of mine. I was definitely wanting to invest in more Asian cinema, and so that's where I'm gonna try to go a little bit more in 2021. I figure if I can find a cool thing in the stores, why not get it? And actually, it's really cool because the slipcover is this, and then on the inside is this artwork right here. Very nice, man. Very nice indeed. It looks cool. I mean, if you guys know anything about the anime or the live action movie, definitely let me know. It looks wild. It looks weird, bloody and gory as hell. I'm willing to give this one a chance. I really am. So I decided, why not pull the trigger on a blind buy? But I am looking for more Japanese Asian cinema. So right down my alley for sure, guys. So got this. I also ended up getting in the mail through Amazon. I finally picked it up. Some of you guys have been asking me about it, and yes, I finally pulled the trigger, and that is none other than Good Burger. Yes, yes. Oh my god, I finally got Good Burger. You have no idea how much I love this movie, guys. I grew up with this movie. I remember watching the skits on All That and loving them. And then when this came to movie theaters, like I was one of those bratty kids that was annoying my mother. I'm like, Mom, mommy, let's go see Good Burger. And my mother's like, oh, Good Burger. She put up with my shit, guys. But honestly, this is really great. It's really funny. It's ridiculous and it's over the top, but there's something about it that I love that is just so out there and so B movie cheese, but yet that's kind of my timeline of me as a kid and how I grew up. And Good Burger was part of that growing up, man. And damn, it was good. God, I loved Good Burger, dude. So this is awesome, man. So I finally picked it up for a great price on Amazon.com. So I decided, what the hell, man. But God, I've never owned this on physical media ever, and to finally get this piece of my childhood nostalgia in the collection is so sweet, man. So good. Good Burger. Very nice, man. The next title I picked up, well, I had to pick it up, man. As a fan of this movie, an eternal fan of it, I just had to get this edition, and that is none other than Spaceballs, the 4K. Yes. Oh my god, man. Spaceballs on 4K. Oh my god. We're going ludicrous speed, baby. Yes, we are, man. I gotta tell you, dude, I love this movie. Hands down, one of the best comedies of all time, Spaceballs is. And Mel Brooks is a fucking genius. I mean, truthfully, the man is. I mean, just Young Frankenstein alone is classic. But Spaceballs and so much more, Robin Hood Men in Tights, you name it, he's done good for himself. He really, really has. And this is one of the best, man. I mean, from, Bill Pullman, John Candy, Rick Moranis in here. Oh my God, Rick Moranis. God, I love that guy. So amazing. Darth Helmet is so great. And I just love the comedy here. Like when the people are combing the desert and like he asks, "Have you found anything yet?" "No, sir." "Have you found anything?" "No, I haven't found anything yet." And he goes to last people, "Have you found anything yet?" And the black guy's like, "We ain't found shit." I love that. Or I love when he's playing with the little figurines and the guy comes in and he's like, "Ah!" He's like, "I'm sorry that I interrupted you playing." "No, no, no, you didn't interrupt me playing with my dolls." And so it's just so great. Or, "Your Schwartz is bigger than mine." He's so good. Oh my god, man. Oh, I got yogurt and everything. Fucking Christ, man. This movie is so great. God. Ah. She's Jewish. Who knew? Oh, so good. Oh my god, I could go on and on. This movie is so awesome, man. I love this movie so much, man. And I've owned it on VHS. I've owned it on DVD. I've owned it on Blu-ray, and now I've owned it on 4K. This is the last time I'm gonna get it, guys. Well, I always say that, but who knows, man? If you love a movie, you buy all the kinds of editions that comes out, man. But this is one that's worth it. I love this movie so goddamn much. Kino Lorber gave it the love. The slipcover is great. Of course, the same artwork on the other side. A whole host of special features, man. I mean, this thing is awesome. And man, you want to know what, dude? I mean, there are some really good parody movies out there. I think the old school ones are better than the new school ones. Yeah, I kind of like Not Another Teen Movie, that's cool. But some of the other ones are a real pain in the butt. But the old school ones, History of the World Part 1, Spaceballs, Young Frankenstein, those are the classics, man. He knew how to spoof in back in the day, man. Way before the Naked Gun series or the Zucker brothers, you name it. It was Mel that really gave it the great charm that spoof movies really deserve. And this one is aces. I also ended up picking up a release from Orbit DVD. I've actually been ordering more from them because the first time I ordered from them, I was just ordering to see how the packaging was and how everything was good with them, and they seem to be doing a great job. So I decided, you know what? Why not give them more love? So I decided to order one from Scream Factory, finally getting it in the collection, and that is The Crush. Yes! Oh, Alicia Silverstone stalking Carrie Elwes. Can't get much better, damn it. Honestly, you can, dude. And this is one of those gap movies. And what I mean by gap movies is that, there's been a lot of releases that I held off on for various reasons. Whether I was focusing on other movies at the time or I just forgot to pick it up. And this is one of those movies where I know I wanted it in the collection, but I kept holding back. And so it was a great price on Orbit DVD, and I just went with it, man. I mean, there's a lot of Scream Factory stuff that I still need to pick up, but this was one I just decided, hey, if it's for a good price, I'm going to pull the trigger, man. And this is a really great, great little horror thriller, man, truly. And it's kind of interesting because we think of Alicia Silverstone, from movies like Clueless, and she is a really good actress, but man, The Crush is one of the best. And I don't know if people really remember this one, but they should. I mean, I love that she sort of fell in love with Carrie Elways and he didn't want her and he liked this other woman and she basically wanted to kill the other woman and only wanted him for herself, and those really great sort of 90s thrillers, man, that you saw over the years, man. Like Single White Female or Fatal Attraction, and I could go on and on. I mean, there's a whole slew of them, dude. And this was among one of, at least I thought, one of the best, man, truly. And I remember when Scream Factory put this out, I definitely wanted it, and now it's finally going in the collection with some really great features, commentary, and interviews as well, theatrical trailer. You know, sometimes there's certain releases where you just hold back on and you say to yourself, well, I'm going to pick it up, and then like 2 years go by or more, and you're literally like, oh, fuck. That release, I was going to get that release. And then it's like out of print and you're just scrambling like a motherfucker. Thankfully, this hasn't really gone out of print yet, or I don't believe it has. If it did, hey man, I got it for a great price, so I'm happy, man. Very, very happy. And add more to the Scream Factory collection? Come on, guys. It's always worth it, dude. Great, great movie. Great, wicked performance by Alicia Silverstone. So damn good. This and Poison Ivy, man. A great double feature, man. That would be a great stuff, man. Definitely good with The Crush. Yes. So I got that, but that is not all, man, because I got even more. So, when I was done with some of the stores, I decided to take a trip down to Soundgarden. Now, I am close, guys. I am very close to getting to be able to film a video in Soundgarden. I cannot wait. It's gonna happen this summer. They have some really amazing titles, man. And when I get a chance to film in there, man, it's gonna be a good one. Trust me, man. But I went in there, decided to look. I hadn't been in there in a few weeks, so I was like, I was kind of itching to go back. And I found a couple of goodies, man. The first thing I found was the collector's edition Shout Select release of Streets of Fire. Yes, look at this, man. With the slip in really, really great, perfect condition. Now, I know a lot of times when people buy this movie now, a lot of times it does not come with the slip cover. And if it does, a lot of times it comes damaged. I don't think Shout Factory is after like 3 months, they don't really even do any slip covers anymore. Amazon ruins slip covers like a motherfucker, and other companies just don't have the slips anymore. This came with the slip, and that was an instant attraction to me. And on the other side, that really great artwork as well. Look at that. Amazing. This is a really great movie, man. It's got that futuristic sci-fi vibes. Obviously, the musical numbers and the acting. Michael Pear is really amazing here. Diane Lane. I mean, a lot of people know Diane Lane from a lot of other movies, but I mean, come on, Streets of Fire, she was amazing in. How Rick Moranis is in this, man. A young Rick Moranis, dude. This is a great movie, man. And this is another one of those gap movies where I've been wanting it for a long time, and I held back on it because there was so much other stuff to buy, and it just honestly passed me by. And I was always regretting it, not picking it up because I wanted it so badly. And now finally in the collection, man. I mean, this is such a great movie, man. Willem Dafoe plays such a great bad guy. This has so much great stuff going for it. It's such a great movie overall, and Shout Select, from all the reviews I've heard, has done a great job with this, and so I can't wait to dive back into this, man. It's one I wanted, And I was at Soundgarden and I saw it with the slip. I'm like, oh my god, it's brand new. I'm like, Jesus, how could no one have picked this shit up by now? And I'm like, dude, I'm picking this up. So yeah, this was amazing that I found this there. So happy to get this. It's fire. Another one for the Shout Select collection. Not bad, man. So I got that, but that is not it, because I got one more, and that is the Blu-ray of Savage Streets. Yeah, Savage Streets, man. I could not believe that I found this at Soundgarden. This is wild that I got this. This is, I believe this Blu-ray, if I'm not mistaken, is out of print from Code Red. And I know that it originally came with a slipcover. And I was looking, actually, kind of crazy, because I was looking at the slipcover on eBay. And you know how much the slipcover goes for? If you were to buy this movie with the slip, it would cost you over $100. I kid you not, man. It cost over $100. Ridiculous how much shit costs with a slipcover, man. If that slipcover's out of print, man, they charge you up the ass, man. I would love to get the slipcover for Savage Streets. That would be absolutely awesome. But damn, I'm not paying that price for it. Let me tell you, man. But I've wanted this movie for a long time. I've never had a physical copy in the collection. But I love this movie. I can't say that I love every Linda Blair movie, because some I don't really love. Like Hell Night, I'm not really a huge fan of Hell Night. It's okay, but I don't love it. But I got to admit, man, like movies like The Exorcist and Savage Streets are awesome, man. And she's great in it. And I just love the whole idea of revenge and this gang, like basically, ruining her family and her life, and just basically just taking vengeance into her hands, man. I mean, it's really great. There's a lot of great movies that I have in the collection that were definitely influenced by Savage Streets, man. Linda Blair is awesome in this, and it's a great exploitation film. And it's also directed by Danny Steinem. Now, if you guys don't know Danny Steinem, he directed Friday the 13th Part 5, man. One of the sleaziest Friday the 13th movies of all time. And this one is just as sleazy, man. Really, really fantastic movie, man. I love the violence in here. I love the acting. It is ridiculous, a little over the top, but man, do I love it. And I think this movie is really awesome, dude. And they actually had 2 copies at Soundgarden. One copy was actually damaged, and this wasn't. I'm like, I'm getting, of course, the one that's not damaged, dude. And I'm so happy to pick this up. I have a decent Code Red collection, and add another one to the list, man. Some really, really great pickups this time, guys. Holy shit, man. I mean, the pickups this time around were really, really cool. Not gonna lie, man. I mean, I came away with a decent-sized stack of some pretty solid physical media goodness, baby. But wait, that is not all, guys, because outside of all the other little releases and some of the store stuff that I got more. Oh, I did. I got some packages in the mail for the April pickups. Indeed, I did, man. The first package I got was actually from a director friend of mine who, by the way, is one of my favorite young indie directors that is working right now, man. He is absolutely awesome, and I thought I actually had all of his movies in the collection. Not, because I'm missing one. And I just rectified that, man. Yes, indeed. And actually, this is my second Horror Pack exclusive. I think I told you guys that I had a Horror Pack exclusive before, and I didn't even need to get the Horror Pack subscription service in order to get this sucker. Just saying, man, when luck is on your side. And so he was selling this edition, and I said, hey, how much do you want? And I sent him it through PayPal, and he sent me the movie. And this is, from what I gather, this is a really fun sort of indie horror flick, basically about a high school that is being terrorized by this psychotic maniac, and all the terror and hilarity that ensues. I gotta admit, I love this director. I love some of the stuff that he's done. He does a really great balance of horror and comedy and mixes it in a really great, satisfying way. You know, not everybody can do it. Some people are a little more successful than others, and I think he's done a really great job in combining the two and making it really work. And I cannot wait to dive into this. The second horror pack exclusive that I've ever had from one of my favorite young indie directors working so far. Man, it's gonna be a good one. Dare I say, definitely. Now, I also got a package in the mail from Diabolic DVD, and this title, guys, is actually a newer sci-fi horror flick that came out not too long ago, man. And I really love this flick, man. I had a ball watching this film when I watched it for the out and about that the week that it came out, and I loved everything about it. I love the creature effects, I love the blood and gore, the wild, ridiculous, out there characters. I thought it was such a wild and fantastical, just B-movie cheese that I knew I had to own it. And this edition is not the regular US edition. Oh no, this is an overseas edition, which is like the best edition you can get of this movie, man. And I had to get it. It had to be in the collection, baby. And it came in mint condition. And let's put it this way. One of these days, this edition is going to sell out, and I'm damn glad to have it in the collection. Ooh, it's going to be a good one worth showing off, man. Oh, and I also got a package in the mail from Massacre Video, baby. Yes. It's been a little bit since I've gotten anything from Massacre Video, but this one is definitely worth it. Now, this movie, guys, is actually a movie about Freddy Krueger. Well, I should phrase that differently. It's not about Freddy Krueger. It's about a country's different interpretation of Freddy Krueger. Yes, you know, it's kind of interesting because there's certain horror icons in the world, right? And overseas in certain countries, they interpret these horror icons in a different way. It's the same sort of iconic sort of glove and maybe facial scarrings, but it's a different take on the character, and it seems like a really wild and bizarre movie, man. But there was something about it with the trailer and just interesting to experience a different take on Freddy. There was something about it that really intrigued me that I wanted to kind of dive into this release, man. I don't know whether I'm going to like it. Good, bad, indifferent, I have no clue. But as a fan of Freddy Krueger, seeing other countries' interpretations of that character is kind of cool. And so I'm really looking forward to seeing what the hell this country came up with their own version of Freddy Krueger, man. It looks wild, but it looks so fun, and I can't wait to dive into it, man. Cannot wait. This should be really cool. And last, but certainly not least, I ended up also getting another package from Diabolic DVD as another one. And this, speaking of Asian cinema, I ended up picking this up. I saw the trailer for it for the release, and this movie, man, talk about an odd one. It's basically about, from what I gather, these machines that take over your human body, and basically you're like a slave to them, and you're trying to infect other people with this technology, and it's about this technology trying to take over the world and how humanity is trying to stop them. Wild effects in this movie, the blood and the gore and the over the top scenarios. Man, this little one looks wild, dude. But I gotta tell you, there's, you know, as I'm looking into more Asian cinema, man, you could go down some really wild rabbit holes, and this one is wild, dude. But I gotta admit, man, it looks right up my alley, so I'm willing to give it a chance, man. So, and a little weird and crazy sci-fi Asian cinema love. Uh, a different take on Freddy Krueger. Oh, a little horror sci-fi gore action. And a little high school killing in the mix as well. Oh, not half bad, guys. Not half bad at all. Ooh, I think those April pickups are going to be quite plentiful, but you guys will not get to find out exactly what I picked up until my Blu-ray picks video, which will drop sometime soon for the month of April. And guys, it's going to be out of print love. It's going to be overseas editions. It's going to be Arrow Video love. It's going to be just crazy Asian cinema, retro titles, collectors, limited editions, so much good stuff, man. It's gonna be crazy, but I cannot wait to show you. April's gonna be good. April's gonna be really good, man. And oh, more to come, I guarantee you. More is on my way, but this is quite nice, man. Dare I say, quite nice indeed, man. I think you guys are going to like it. But in the meantime, guys, I just want to say, first off, I want to say thank you for the support. I really appreciate all the support and love. And hopefully this weekend, if nothing goes off the rails, I always say that something always goes off the rails, but there will be hopefully a couple things coming to the channel. One is we will finally, God willing, be putting out our Coming to America 2 review. John and I reviewed that movie, the Eddie Murphy sequel. The review is a fun one, man. We have a little skit at the beginning, and John and I dive into a lot of really great discussion about the sequel. So hopefully I can get that up to you guys this weekend. And stay tuned, guys, because the next live stream is coming this Saturday night at 9 p.m. I am going to do a live Blu-ray pickups video for the December 2020 pickups. I'm going to finally show off the mega haul, the final mega haul that I got for the final month of 2020, and it is going to be awesome, spectacular, some really solid titles, some really great surprises in there, and a lot to talk about with you guys. So I'm going live Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on the YouTube channel, a live Blu-ray pickups video for you guys and answering all your questions as well. It's going to be a fun one, man. You definitely don't want to miss it. And before I let you guys go, I wanted to talk about an article that I saw, which is really quite interesting. And the article is why it's a good time to invest in physical media. Let's dive in, shall we? So, why buy DVDs or books or CDs or vinyls when we have Netflix, Kindle, and Spotify? Everything's so accessible now, and said access has never been more democratic, right? What's to worry about? Sure, you have to keep paying a monthly subscription fee for the now increasing number of available streaming services just to access everything you want, but that's no biggie, right? As long as your internet connection never goes down, the world is your oyster. The digital age and the conglomerates who control it with an iron fist have done a remarkable job in deceiving the public into believing that they outright own the content they stream or download. That may be why we are surprised afresh every single time that film we want to stream is suddenly unavailable. It's a system that does everything in its power to discourage you from investing in the old way. My dad has essentially stopped buying physical copies of video games because they're never on the disc anyway, and he's sick of multiple hours of downloading just to get what he paid for. Not only have we been conditioned to accept the questionable confines of digital media, we've been forced to accept compromised versions of this content. Think of how many incredible movies left on streaming are presented in the wrong aspect ratio, or how many times you've bought an ebook only for its formatting to be nigh unreadable. The past century of Hollywood has shown two things. You can't trust media conglomerates to allow free or easy access to the things they own, and they've never given two hoots about preserving their own history. Disney is especially infamous for the former thanks to its wholly manufactured vault of superiority and limited period offers. This practice of making their most iconic titles available only for a short time before they're put back in the vault for several years or possibly decades created this notion of scarcity that had customers running to the shops. That practice may be dying off in the age of Disney Plus, but that only further adds to the illusion. It doesn't help that there are more than a few Disney titles and infamous works that are simply unavailable in any shape, way, or form, or for better or for worse. The company is also infamous in its restriction of repertory screenings of their work, something that's only gotten worse since they purchased Fox. Say goodbye to your special Halloween screenings of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Questions have already arisen over how Disney intends to treat its new indie division, Fox Searchlight, as well. Cinemas have had trouble accessing prints of various titles like Terrence Malick's A Hidden Life. In this smothering market, audiences never win. They are beholden to utterly false notions of availability and exclusivity that benefit nobody but the corporate powers with all the money. Hollywood has never given much care to preserving its past. The vast majority of silent films made in the first decade of the industry's life simply do not exist anymore, having been lost to time or destroyed by studios who saw no worth in what was seen at the time as frivolous entertainment. Art matters, and it should be given the appropriate archival treatment, even if the industry to this day seems utterly unconcerned with such matters. In the digital age, that job increasingly falls on the shoulders of fans. You and I. We're entering a period where physical media is no longer a priority for studios, so it's no wonder we're all panicking about the status of film, music, gaming, etc. If media monopolies only view decades of cultural magnitude as a means to make money, then they will never worry about its preservation. Why care about, say, the work of 1940s Fox if general audiences, however they are defined, aren't willing to pay lots of money to access them? It may not matter to them, but to me and many others, this is a medium worth fighting for. It's not just about our past, it's an issue about our present as well. This industry is already increasingly uninterested in indie cinema, with so many of those titles going straight to streaming. What happens if Netflix one day shuts down? That's actually a good thought. Never really even considered that one, honestly. Will we simply never be able to see Da 5 Bloods again? Or the exclusive series it didn't give DVD releases to? Those could be a thing of the past. And they're only on streaming. How weird is that, guys? The end game of this system is a world in which nobody owns the things they love. Instead, we will all operate on a pay-per-use system, which would create a money-printing machine for the 5 media monopolies that run practically everything. This isn't a tract against digital media, which has certainly opened up access on many levels and offered an alternative to the traditional theatrical model. It has its purposes, but beware a single-minded reliance on such near ethereal concepts. If you have the means, go and buy the pop culture you love so that you outright own it. Don't let it be dependent on the whims of petty conglomerates operating on a too-big-to-fail system that will inevitably crumble. Very well said. And if you really think about it, it makes perfect sense. This article sums it up in the best ways possible because, you know, it's interesting. See, when Disney bought Fox, right, I had heard so many people say, oh, what about the big franchises? What about Alien franchise or Predator franchise? I mean, are we going to get 4Ks? Are we going to get new movies? And I don't think there's any doubt in anybody's mind that we're not going to get new films within those franchises. And you know we're going to get 4Ks of those titles. It's just honestly inevitable. And Disney's not going to waste those properties. Let's be real. They're just not going to do it, guys. And so I'm not so worried about those big franchises. I'm worried about the little guys. I'm worried about the indie films that are going to be tucked away forever and never see the light of day or be on a streaming service and literally get bogged down with so much algorithms and so much other popular content that nobody is ever going to watch them and no one's really ever going to notice them. And then suddenly these companies are going to see, wow, well, no one's watching it. And I guess why are we going to be keeping it on a service if no one's going to watch it? That's just extra stuff that we could put on for more popular shit. And that's what's going on. It's pure greed at this point. I mean, there's also another article out there that pretty much says that Universal is thinking about pulling all of its movies from Netflix and other platforms and again making everything exclusive to Peacock streaming service, and just you're gonna have to watch that content on Peacock, right? I mean, the streaming wars are happening. They've begun, baby. And now it's about content, content, content. We need as much as humanly possible, and we are going to hoard it on our streaming platform. And if you want it, you're going to have to pay the money that we set. And if you don't, well, then you're just not going to get it. And that's what this is about. It's pure greed and just pure profit, not about preserving movies, not about the actual like art form itself. It's all about making money. And in some ways, I guess it's always been about that to a certain degree. I mean truly, because if you think about it, guys, when physical media really came into being, when VHS started to come out, Laserdisc and all those other formats, movie studios saw it as a cash cow. I mean, truly, they did this. Wow, they saw it in the movie theaters, and now we can charge a boatload of money for the VHS if they want to own it and watch it at home. Wow, man, oh my God, of course, we're going to make a shitload of money. And they did. And then they realized, oh my God, we can put out other editions with different artwork and special features, and just they're gonna rebuy it constantly, and they were right, and they made a lot of money. And somewhere along the lines, yes, the physical media will always be obviously something that these companies do for profit, but at some point physical media became something more than that. It became a preservation of cinema in a lot of ways, preserving what once was. And that became very important. And it's even more important now, more than ever, man, with a lot of these companies locking away their movies in their vaults, in their streaming platforms, and again, even altering content at this point. I mean, there are certain movies that I have in the collection that if I were to go on a streaming service, they're not edited the same way. There's dialogue that's taken out, offensive stuff that is gotten rid of. And so, it's interesting because these older titles, these indie gems, B movies, you name it, a lot of them are never going to find a home on streaming. And even if they find a home on streaming, even if they do, they're going to be buried, absolutely buried upon a mound of other movies and exclusive new releases for these streaming platforms, and they're just not going to get any play. And then you even think about the exclusive movies, like the Netflix ones or the Disney Plus or the Hulu exclusives, and you think to yourself, well, wait a minute, are these ever going to get a physical media release? I mean, sometimes we're lucky. You have a Criterion that will release The Irishman or Roma, something like that. And, yeah, for a year you'll have something like the Cloverfield Paradox that'll be on Netflix, and then eventually it'll get a physical media release because the rights revert back to Paramount. So eventually they end up putting out a physical media release. Those are the rare exceptions. But there's a lot of content that is on these platforms that I don't know will ever see the light of day, to be honest with you, on a physical disc. I mean, movies like The Babysitter or Gerald's Game or, some of the Apple Plus exclusives, the Hulu stuff. I mean, I'd like to think at some point they're going to get a physical media release, but I can't guarantee it. I have no idea. They're literally going to stay stuck in streaming hell because these companies literally say to themselves, well, wait a minute. If you want to continue to watch these movies and these TV shows and these titles, why would we put it out on physical media? That just doesn't make any sense to us. That means you won't want to come back to our streaming platform. So in order for you to want to watch it, you're just going to have to pay us, and then you'll have access to it. This is becoming very problematic, and it's only going to get worse, by the way. It's not going to get any better, guys. It's going to get worse. And so, physical media is more important than ever. And it really is. And I hear these reports of physical media is dying and all this stuff. And yes, it's not as popular as it used to be. And yes, streaming is taking over, but I think the overhypeness of the idea of the death of physical media, that's what these companies want. They want you to feel like it's hopeless to buy physical media because they don't want you to own the title. Like, literally, I am so glad that I own as many titles as I do in the collection. Yes, I don't own everything. I don't want to own everything, but I own the stuff that I like, and I'm glad that I own it because I don't want to be beholden to streaming services 110% of the time. I don't. I mean, yes, I have Amazon Prime, and I have Disney Plus, and I have Netflix, and I have HBO Max, and those are good. I don't know if I'm going to keep them all the time. Maybe sometimes I'm going to get rid of them, and maybe come back to them a month or two later, maybe. But then you also have to understand that these streaming services are continuing to charge you more and more money. Those prices are not going to stay the same year in and year out. They're always going to rise. And so at a certain point, I'm out. I mean, I'm seriously out. I'm not going to stick around if it gets to a certain price point. I'm gone. And I know a lot of people are the same way. And there's other people that literally feel like, oh my God, I have to keep this service because they have the stuff that I like. I can't get rid of this. Yes, you can. If you have the physical media copy, you own it. It's yours. You can watch it whenever you want, how you want it. You can. You don't have to be beholden to these people. You really don't, man. And unfortunately, the general public is like zombies. I mean, truly. They're like zombies where, streaming. It's like they're eating the brains of streaming or something and just want more. But you and I know better. I'm not saying that you need to have a gigantic, huge, mega collection. But at the same time, buy what you like. And know that when you're buying a physical media copy, you're not only buying something that you love and enjoy, but you're buying the preservation of cinema. You're buying something that you're preserving the original vision, that it's not going to be trimmed or altered in any way, and you're buying something that you have now in your collection, you own, and no one can take that away from you. It's not like you're ending a subscription service and suddenly those titles leave. No, they stay. And so, with older films like the 30s stuff all the way to today, the indie stuff, the B movies, the big cheese of the world, the Star Wars and the Aliens and Lord of the Rings and all you guys know those titles, Back to the Futures and oh my God, all these big name titles, they're gonna stick around. They're gonna stay. They're gonna be there. But it's the little guys and it's the unknown titles that are gonna get the shaft and are gonna be hidden away forever. And there's gonna be a point in time when physical media is not gonna be around to save it. So you better savor it now while you can. Because maybe sometime soon, physical media won't be around to save it. Just saying, guys. I mean, definitely let me know what you think about this. Very, very fascinating indeed, guys. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely give it the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Blu-ray and DVD Tuesday videos that I do. The movie reviews with my friends. Movie hunting like Dollar Tree hunts. Blu-ray pickup videos, live streams, and much, much more. If you're a lover of movies and physical media, hit subscribe and become part of the Film Fan Nation. Thank you to my wonderful subscribers watching the videos, commenting, great feedback. I appreciate it so much. You give the love to me, and man, I hope I give the love right back to you. So thank you. Thank you so much, man. Keep up to date with everything I'm doing through Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. FilmFan108. Keep up to date with everything I'm doing, plus special pictures and videos I do from time to time on social media as well. And if any of you are interested in sending movie-related goodness to the channel, the P.O. Box for FilmFan108 is down in the description. I know a lot of you guys have went out of your way in the past to say, hey, I'm interested in sending the channel something. Where do I send it? And now finally you guys can. You know, I'm always up for new physical media adventures, new movies worth watching, old school stuff that I don't have in the collection. Great care packages, and you know, wonderful notes from you guys. I'll do unboxing videos. You guys know how I do it, guys. So anything is appreciated. I always look forward to packages from you guys. If you're thinking about sending something, hey, it's there, man. I can't wait to see what I get from you guys. And that being said, I will see you guys back next week for a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video. Take care, everybody, and happy hunting.